Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Boys from the Baltic Star playing Orbital Blues. Thank you, Lemon Lee. I appreciate that. Thank you, Kelly. It's because I changed the scene in OBS and it's been quite echo in the setup. But I'm hoping it's sorted. But please let me know. But anyway, welcome tonight. Um, welcome. We're starting properly session one. We've had session zero back in the day, but today is session one of Orbital Blues. And to say one certain member of the crew was slightly excited this week would be to play it down a little bit. Just a little.
Was it Ben? Was Ben crying again?
Ben,
I was. It was me.
he's been messaging me all week. But yes, no, everyone's excited about this. It's exciting. We love it. We from our very session zero, we've really we enjoyed what we were going through, and we've been excited to come back. So welcome. I've got a tinge of tin can, which if that's as bad as it gets today, then I'm rolling with that. Let me know about the others when we get into them as well. But yes, if it is your first time on this channel, welcome to us. Hello. I hope that you find it relaxing and entertaining. Our chat is a friendly, chilled out place. Diesel Shot's here. Hey, Diesel Shot, how you doing, man? You okay? Our chat is a friendly place. It's welcoming. We'll break all the walls to chat when we're not busy role playing. I guess I might not be so busy in there tonight. Please feel free to chat. Please feel free to lurk. We love our lurkers, of course, as well. If you're here for the long haul, wonderful. If you're here for a few minutes, that's absolutely fantastic. It's Saturday night. There's a lot to do. Let's face it. I'm watching four nerds playing some sci-fi game. It's niche. It's niche. I'll give you that much. Speaking of the nerds, I'm joined by three of them.
Where? What? What are you talking about?
It's in the chat. It's in the chat. It's Kelly. It's Diesel Shot. You see what I did then? Lemon Lee as well.
Lemon Lee, definitely nerd.
It's a welcoming space, a safe space for nerds. But speaking of which, let's go through the nerds that we've got. My name is Luke. Hello, I'm the storyteller for Orbital Blues. I spent the week stressing, but I'm feeling good now. I felt less stressed last week preparing a game in 20 minutes than I have spending about 60 hours.
Because you didn't have time to think about it and to worry. You just had to get on with it.
Exactly. But we're going to roll with it tonight. I'm excited. There's a lot of magical stuff. So I'm the owner of the book, although Socks has got at least a PDF of it, I think.
I have a printout, 210 pages of printing.
It's a beautiful thing. So the back chunk of the book is given over to a system called the Sutler system, which is the first sort of system it suggests you can play through, which is what we're playing. So if you see what we're doing and you like what it's about, then it's in here if you want to play it with your group. But anyway, that is me, Luke. Hello. Next to me is a friend, a comrade, the man with the swishest hair in town. It is Ewan. How are you doing, Ewan?
I'm good, thanks, Luke. It's hard to tell looking at our three pictures which person you were alluding to until you mentioned the name. I'm going to be honest. But thanks, I'm doing good.
You guys are a group of swishy hair. I appreciate it.
Swishy hair nerds. I need a t-shirt.
First of all, I guess we don't want to go too much into it because we're starting the game. But do you want to just tell us your character and say maybe one thing about them, like a sentence, who they are? Imagine that they're on a blind date back in the early 90s. Scylla's there. I'm not going to do a Scouse accent because that's just won't work. Hey, I'm going to try. Hey. Number one, what's your name and where do you come from? This is supposed to be a rock and roll game.
Hi, I'm nerd number one out of the three. I'm Bill Raven, and Bill Raven doesn't have a lot to his name, but he does have a beloved battered jacket, or buttered jacket up until 5 minutes ago when I corrected my handwriting. But it is battered, and it is his one prized possession.
Did he drop it in the deep fat fryer then in the fish and chip shop?
Yeah.
I love this jacket too much to throw it away. Even if
I'm going to preserve it
warm and crispy. Lovely. I like it. I like Bill Raven. He's one of my favourites. He's definitely one of my 3 favourites.
Thanks.
I'm gonna skip over the rose amongst the thorns and jump down to the bottom.
Oh, sorry, Ben.
To the smartest man in any room, the man who lives his whole life in the Twin Peaks dream sequence, a man who's putting the Sean Connery look on tonight. Look at that! Look at the look to screen. Very suave.
Zardos.
A lot of suaveness going on there. It's Ben. How are you doing, Ben?
I'm well, thank you. Very well, and thoroughly excited to be a player.
You've always been a player to me. So, Ben, number 3. What's your name and where do you come from? Tell us a bit about yourself.
Well, I don't want to give too much away at this stage, obviously, partly because I haven't written it yet. But what you should know is that I'm playing a character called Mac Guffin.
It started already. I give up.
I spend all these hours writing a really serious game with lots of intricacy and carefully thought out moral conundrums.
But you didn't put a MacGuffin in, did you?
Obviously, I didn't have to. It was done for me. Fantastic. Nice to have you aboard, Mac. You're definitely one of my favourite 3. I'm probably going for 3. Anyway, moving on to number 2. Is the mysterious blue-haired? I don't know. I don't know how to describe. Don't know how to describe his socks. Describe yourself. How do you go?
Well, I actually am blue-haired now.
You are blue-haired.
Unfortunately, I can't get my web camera to work. I mean, I can, but for like 2 minutes. So sorry, you're gonna have to guess. Let's just assume I look like that for now.
It's not far off.
It's quite a long way off. Quite a ways. So I'm playing Anarchist. That may or may not be her real name.
Oh no.
Honestly, the giggling is just not going to stop tonight, is it? I've got 4 other names ready to go for her as well. She is. I'm trying not to make her foul mouthed because I respect the stream, but she would be foul mouthed. She's a mechanic and she has a tiny bird and a necklace that she never takes off.
She does. I forgot all about the tiny bird in the necklace.
Oh, Sparrow! Hi, Spaz. Yeah, so tiny bird and necklace, and that's just about as much. Smokes, but then we all smoke. That's not news. We all. By the way, smoking is really, really bad for you, and nobody should take it up. It's bad.
And yet, all 3 of you, within about 5 minutes of us starting the game, all the characters sparked up.
I'm not sure I did I?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Peer pressure.
Basically,
Which is also not cool, kids.
You all sparked up, and then you sucked on Curly's knob.
Oh, I mean, I love Curly's knob. I'm all about Curly's knob.
Which, for those of you new to the stream, is a well-respected whiskey. Well-respected whiskey in the game. So yes. Anyway, that's the level we're looking at tonight, everyone.
That's where we are.
Socks, did you want to give some information about something else that's happening coming up?
Oh, of course. Thank you so much. Yeah, so our beloved friends over at Rook and Rasp, you sometimes see John Passion Nerdly or Rue hanging out here or in the Discord. A member of their community had a stroke in February, and this is quite a special lady, actually, because she's a freelance TTRPG game editor. So there's a very good chance that you've played one of the games that she's worked on. Anyway, they've got a fundraiser for her husband Steve happening next weekend on Saturday and Sunday. And while they are hoping to obviously raise money to support them while Carol rehabilitates, they're also hoping that people just turn up and have a grand old time hanging out and playing games. So the details are all in our Discord, in the Community Creations channel. And if you have any questions about what's happening and when, please do DM me or Rue. I've tagged her in so she knows what's going on. And it would just be really lovely to show a little bit of TTRPG solidarity, which is what we're all about ultimately. Thank you.
Fantastic.
Thank you, Socks. That's a lovely one.
So there we go. So get involved. Yep. Flick into the Discord, find out more about that. Socks has been championing that, which is absolutely fantastic. It's good
and
to
genuinely,
support
that's the
our
nicest thing I'm
friends.
going to say tonight.
Well, I'll make a note of it. Time 11:32. British summertime. Okay, so I guess on that bombshell, um, it's nearly time to start. I just quickly flicked into uh, the viewer, the Imperial credits, the things you can spend your points on. So I needed to get rid of some stuff from last night,
Oh,
but there's
yeah.
plenty to spend your points on. I've kept Tim because there's service staff in every world.
We do love a Tim.
Um, a couple of things that people might not know: clonk means that if you choose clonk, that someone has to hit something. No choice. If you love Ben, you can get into Resplend.
Can you do a
Although,
nominated clonk?
although having said that, the sound might not work because I'm running through a different
Ah.
set of scenes. So don't bother with the sound ones. But the other ones are good. Well, if you're making one, someone has to drink. You can get someone to sing a little song. Get them to regale with a tale. I've left on name an NPC, and I've left on boon to be wild. So if you want to buy a boon for your favourite, then please feel free.
And can I just ask, because I'm used to being in the gallery,
Yes.
and not in front of, well, sort of in front-ish of the screen. So is it poor form for me to nominate, like to use one of these to make one of my beautiful colleagues here do something that I don't want to do?
If you're in the game, that would probably be seen as a bit meta.
That's poor form. Okay, I thought I'd double check.
That's,
I mean, I think some are more acceptable than others.
Yeah, it would depend on what it was, obviously.
I love the idea of Cara activating Daddy Agnar mode on Friday.
it's a dream. I think, to be fair, Socks, you have got Kelly and Spez there to do your dirty work.
That is true. Us thirsty floof bitches.
The
we hang in a
30
pack
floof
now.
bitches.
That's how it goes. That's a hashtag. You're welcome to join us. There's a small membership fee, but then a badge and a members welcome pack. So jump on.
Exactly. And you get monthly newsletters about rating the floofiness of wolves.
I feel you're overcommitting me here now.
I've heard that's what's happening monthly.
It's a lot of content.
There's a lot of floof to talk about.
Yeah.
Anyway,
I love you.
on that bombshell, shall we begin?
Yes.
Should we begin? Why not? Let's begin. So your story, my friends, starts in the Sutler system, where we found you. But what, 6 to 8 weeks ago? Did you say last on stream? But in your minds, mere seconds ago, as your ship, the Alcanost, landed on Sutler Orbital, an orbiting backwater station close to the dying star of the Sutler system. Our session 0 started with you at Frontier Security Services, and I'm going to put my graphics to power here. There it was, Frontier. Do you remember it well? Do you remember it?
I do.
I do.
And do you
It was a
remember?
party.
Better, I just got married.
Do you remember the aging beauty you spoke to? I hope you do. Dear Mary O'Neill, the security officer there. There she is. We're bringing graphics into this a bit. Mary O'Neill, an experienced lady with a history, a past, a chain smoking problem. Let's put it that way. I think it's her that sort of lured you into the joys of smoking. You just saw her doing it so often, and you thought, "Yeah, this is the way it's done here."
She looks cool.
She looks good. Look at her.
I remember it well. The security guards wore grey. Bill Raven wore black. I remember it.
Yeah. And we all thought that Mary,
battered, beloved,
living the dream. Mary, love her.
Look, she looks good for a 17-year-old. It's all those fags. Cigarettes, sorry. English, sorry. Beg pardon. Oh, sorry. It's a bad set.
It's fine. I think people are used to the colloquial.
Okay, good. Moving on from Mary, she filled out your paperwork and said you might have to wait for a little while, and told you might need to go and hang out at the Tap. She just called it the Tap, which turned out to be the Providence Tap, the local bar on the station, which you wandered into, and old Anna Kist, of course, ingratiated herself very quickly by fixing the jukebox.
It was nothing.
You say it was nothing. It was a strong move, and it was much appreciated by the proprietor, Marvin. If you remember Marvin, behind the bar,
Mhm.
and you had the old guy picking up at the end of the bar, drinking his life away, old Howie. If you remember Howie, you were generous to Howie, buying him drinks while you were there. And a young couple across from the bar, Moira Kilty, Cole Beauford, sat across the bar, getting slightly nervous as you got more and more noisy and more questioning. And Ewan waved to them with, was it knuckle dusters in your hands? It was like a poor Bill Raven, like a cooey with knuckle dusters in his hand.
And then told them not to feel nervous.
Exactly. A bit of classic.
Kelly knows. It
Classic
was
Bill.
exactly for that reason, Kelly. I wanted the free songs.
Put them at ease.
There's a lot of Coldplay on that jukebox there. We're going to have to do some work.
You know, you don't have to rush away and carry out all sorts of adventures. You can just stay and fix the jukebox.
This could be the Space Cowboy Barfly adventure.
Exactly. There's a gap in the market. That's all I'm saying.
Probably for good reason.
So after a few rounds of drinking Mikey's, I don't know if anyone went on to the Dixons. I know Mac was a fan of the Mikey's, I believe.
Yes. Yeah, I do enjoy a real ale.
That's it. And a few Curly's Knob. Wild away the time.
Some nice salty nuts.
There was a lot of salty nuts, it must be said. Before they were being hailed back by Mary, telling them that their paperwork had been completed and to head back to the security services to pick it up, where they would supposedly be free to leave. However, at this point, I feel it would be wrong of us to dive straight in here. So I want us all to get our arms in the air, like this, in a true Wayne's World kind of way. And I want us to make the noise together. The and we find us back on the Alchemist, but 2 or 3 days before. Now you see, our crew had jumped into the system recently. And the way that jumps work in this system is that a ship flies out to a ring at the edge of the system and jumps into it. And it works as like jump points. You maneuver the ship into that, and then the ship powers through from point to point to point to point. There's no deviating from the point once you're in there, 'cause you're traveling far too fast to do it. So if you need to go to a place that's out of the way, you might need to go to point to point to point. And you see, these guys were but 2.2 days away from Sattler at this point. And once you're jumping, there's nothing to do in the ship. You set it back, you set it to auto, you put your feet up, you cook those noodles, and you listen to some sweet, sweet jazz.
Jazz? Who is this guy?
And this is where I take a back seat and hand over to our crew, Mac, Anna, and Bill.
Okay. I suppose the moment finds me in the crew lounge. Literally right at the top of the ship, in the center of it. Right at the peak. Behind the bridge, ahead of the engines. It's sort of a central point. If you head down from there, you could find your way into the front end of the cargo bay. And
Front of ship.
It's a roughly circular space with a central table and
I feel this is really weirdly familiar, Ben.
and benches built around it. But more importantly, directly above it, a
bank of windows.
A sort of set of monitors and control systems, which allow people, when they're on their leisure time, to still keep an eye on the key systems. Video showing the contents of the cargo bay, views outside the ship, and even a little relay of some of the critical bridge instruments.
That sure sounds like a place a captain would really love to spend some time there.
Boy, does it.
Uh-huh.
Well, if I see him,
Or her.
I'm in the guts of the ship. I've got a wrench in one hand and my other hand's on the intercom button, and occasionally I'm barking somewhat grumpily at the rest of the crew, who I suppose there must be more than the three of us, but I don't really care. I'm pottering about and fixing my engine and making sure everything's turning over nicely.
You're fixing the engine, are you, Anna?
Well, not fixing, but we've just got her up and running. I just want to make sure that before we take her out for a proper run, she's just really settled and comfortable. Yeah.
I'll tell you what we'll do.
Mm-hmm.
Let's make an early roll to see how well you're tinkering, shall we?
Okay.
Give people an idea of what's going on.
All right.
We're going to make a check, and we're going to make it against. It's what you know. I'm going to go savvy for this. So those that are watching, there's three main skills that crew members have: their muscle, their grit, and their savvy. And they'll either have a +0, a +1, or +2. And for your savvy, Anna, what you got there?
Well, I've also got a gambit that sort of peculiarly qualifies me to be good at fixing things.
Oh, so why would you be good at fixing things, Anna?
Well, I'm not fixing her. I mean, she's already just making sure, that she isn't as broken as she was when we found her.
He does keep saying fixing a lot. It's suspicious.
Would you say that you're tinkering then?
Yeah, that's the word. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so
I'm turning things with the spanner, not hitting them. It's that kind of. Yeah.
I'm so tempted to redeem a clonk.
We already discussed.
We did.
Sorry. So Anna down there in the bowels of the ship,
yeah,
covered in grease, bit of oil on a top, sort of winding away with, I don't know. I'm not a mechanic like you, so I wouldn't know. Some sort of winding with spanners. Is that what you do?
What I'm trying to do is make some engineering thing happen where when she cycles up at the start of her ignition sequence, she runs much more efficiently, so she can get up to launch speed without shaking herself apart. So I'm just looking for a much smoother ignition process. That's what I'm doing.
Okay. What we're going to do then, we're going to make a roll.
Oh, you bastard, Kelly. Right.
That means because of Kelly, that means we're going to need to make 2 rolls, I'm afraid, Socks.
Okay.
First of all, you're going to use your wily ways, your skillful, mechanic-y, grease monkey ways.
Grease monkey ways.
To roll with a savvy, which I believe you got a +1. And you need to hit an 8 for a perfect success on it, please. What you want to do?
Okay, so I can roll 2d6 +1. That's what we're saying.
You can, yes, please.
Okay. I'm doing it in Discord, everybody, because I don't have the camera. Oh, I've forgotten how to roll in Discord. +1, I think it's that. 8. So I rolled a 4 and a 3, and then I added 1.
Fantastic. So as Anna's sort of winding around, you notice that change in the sound.
Mm-hmm.
It was sounding rough. It's sounding much smoother. It's sounding good. It's sounding nice. But it's sort of spluttered.
It's now sounding like Bill at lunchtime instead of Bill first thing in the morning.
Yeah, exactly. But you want it to sound like Bill after a couple of wines when he's really in the pocket.
About 4 o'clock. Yeah.
Yeah. So the problem is you're hearing a slight clunky, clanky, clonky sound intermittently. So what I want you to do is give it a good hit with the spanner to get it out, which is going to be. You need to add your muscle, please.
Oh, hang on. That means I need to find the sheet.
You've got a 0 on your muscle.
Oh, thanks. Okay, so it's just 2d6 then, nothing
2d6.
added.
Yeah.
Yeah, I stand back and I give it a good old welly, and I hit a 4.
Oh no! Try as you might, you can't get that intermittent clonking sound out. Like you say, you've gone from first thing in the morning to sort of early afternoon, Bill. So it's going to be better than it was. But the ship's still not running as smoothly as you'd like.
So I hit the intercom button, and I'm like, Am I the only one doing any work? I mean, she's upcycling a bit better, but come on, we need better parts. I can't. Ugh, whatever. Somebody bring me a Curly's, and then I just get back to the engine.
I'm going to glance at the screen where you can actually see, the internal camera that shows the engine areas, engine bay, from where I'm sitting, and give a little sort of thumbs up, which I know she can't see. Like, yep, I'm on it.
Sounds very captain-like.
I think, only a captain would furnish his hard-working crew with alcohol like that.
I shall haul myself up then, and make my way aft of the sort of lounge area, as if I'm heading towards the engineering directly, the engine bay directly. But on the way, I'll take a stop off at one of the locker storage areas that we have scattered off that companionway, and drag out a bottle of Curly's.
As Mac leaves the crew lounge, Bill's over in the corner at like the little fold away greasy steel kitchenette thing that they've got, and just say, if you're going back there, take her a bowl of this, and passes him a bowl of rice of some form.
Ah, lovely.
I'll put one on the table for you.
Hi, Angie. Blessed with poops.
Thanks a lot.
It's a poople visit.
I'll carry the food with me, and then go and tuck a bottle of the Curly's under my arm as I reach the locker, and then at the end slide down the ladder into the engineering bay right at the rear of the ship, and then walk presumably between the engines to where Anna is randomly hitting bits of machinery, and offer her in one hand a bowl of rice and in the other one a bottle, and say, both, either, neither.
I'll just take that alcohol and I'll kind of lift it in acknowledgement and a sort of very tacit thank you. Start slugging it back. Oh, I love me a knob.
I'll find something vaguely flat to rest the bowl of rice on. Give her a smile.
You can lean it like against you see that big pipe over there by the twirly thing. Just leave it there and it'll lean against the wall and not fall. Just there.
Cheers.
Thank you.
I'll do exactly that. And then since I've sort of at that end of the engine bay, I'm going to go just a little bit further forward, and since as Anna's thinking as well, it's a sort of fairly new ship to us. Rather than go back the way I came, I'm going to walk out onto the raised catwalk that overlooks the central cargo bay.
You're doing the pilot episode camera tour. That's
I
what
am. Yeah. Sort of right in the middle of the ship, right across the middle of it. I'm thinking there are two main hatch doors into it, one on port and one on starboard. And I'm going to turn, once I've sort of eyeballed it and made sure everything looks ship shape, I'm going to turn left and walk my way up, and then up the port side of the ship, and then in from the port side of the lounge, and sit down and start munching on bowl of rice.
I mean, I knew that by going left you were going along the port side of the ship, Ben, but I thought it was very good of you to say so for those of us here that don't know such things.
It is something that a captain would need to know.
Don't you join in? They're bad enough without you.
You haven't been reading the chat, then. Captain Buck. Hey, Buck Rogers. I mean, come on, it's all there.
Okay, and as you're settling down with some rice, um, you feel a slight judder, Ben. A slight judder that runs through the ship. It's an old ship after all, isn't it, Ben? It's an old ship. Tell us about the ship a little.
Well, when we found it, it was in pretty dire shape. It had been used as a scrap and reclaiming hauler in a ship graveyard, and eventually, when it wore out and was uneconomical to run, they just left it in the ship graveyard to rot along with the hulks that it had been scavenging. But it didn't start out that way. It was built as a merchant transport, and when it became a little bit uneconomical for that, it ended up being repurposed, and this giant reclaiming claw was attached um, underneath the stern for it to grab things from space and pack them into its cargo bays. It took some work for us to get it back on its feet, but it's a nice ship. Those who have an eye for the real thing know that this is a well-regarded class from a long time ago.
It is, and you spent some time on this ship, Mac, which is why I'm going to give you the chance for a roll, because that sound behind of some juddering of something shaking loose, you're aware of. So rather than just being hit in the back of the head by something falling, you'll have that savvy about you to attempt to roll out of the way.
Cat-like.
Cat-like.
When you say attempt to roll out of the way,
Old Mac the cat, they used to call you, I believe.
Sleepy cat-like.
Sleepy
did
cat.
they?
Okay.
cat.
Roll 2d6 and add your savvy, please.
2d6 plus savvy, yes. Okay. Could be okay. That's 6 plus 2.
Oh, indeed, you hear that sound of a strap straining a little bit and a slight snap from that sort of rumble of the ship, and instinctively you swing to the side, keeping hold of your rice, not even dropping a single grain. It's precious after all.
Oh.
And swishing past your shoulder, a canister crashes to the ground next to you. That would have been nasty to the back of the head, it must be said.
Yeah. What kind of canister is it?
It's a crate. It's a personal effects crate. It's got some bits of clothing that maybe belonging to the people that are on the ship before. It just says personal effects.
Coats?
Oh, the non-battered ones.
Just the one coat, actually.
It's Wednesday.
His only item of clothing. Other than that,
Do you want to see the lining? No.
Coat and the knuckle dusters.
This is why you always end up in security offices when you end up in the system.
trying to retain some semblance of cool, having just had to dodge out of the way of falling objects on a ship that I'm supposed to know about. Instead of like bending down to pick it up, I'm going to just put my foot on it to stop it sliding or rolling about anywhere while I finish my rice.
Nice.
And finish the bowl off before I reach down and pick it up.
Oh.
I punched the intercom. Was that a clang? Did I hear a clang?
Yeah, it was a clang.
I told you we needed to use the reinforced webbing. We have to start spending money. We can't just keep on pulling crap off old wrecks. At some point, we've got to buy something that works the first time. We just have to start spending money.
And I think you're probably right, but there's an obvious and pretty clear flaw in your plan, don't you think?
Well, not having money doesn't remove the need for money. It just sharpens it.
Yes. It's a shame the same doesn't work for wits.
You're always so mean.
At which point, Bill jumps in over the intercom with a mouthful of rice and muffled just says, "As soon as we get money, we we spend it.
I mean, not on booze. I mean, on some booze, but also on straps that don't snap the minute we move.
we could always, subsidize a strap fund with the whiskey fund.
We could
Couldn't
start
bring
a
myself to
still.
say the non-fund.
I mean, I don't know. Did it hit you on the head? Is that why you're so grumpy, Mac?
It came within inches of hitting me on the head.
Oh, that's a shame.
I feel the same way, but probably not in exactly the same way. Anyway, how's the rice?
It's actually really good. It was. Did you cook this, or was this Bill's?
This is Bill's.
Yeah, I can taste that. Thanks, though. It was good.
You're welcome.
Thanks, Bill.
So what's Bill up to now as we sort of fade away from a chilled out Mac with his feet on the crate, eating his rice, looking cool. I can picture him in my mind.
Chillaxing under his captain's monitors.
Exactly, poking at things from time to time, making sure everything's okay.
I hope the captain doesn't mind.
Bill's lounging around in the crew lounge. In fact, I suppose, with his bowl of rice, probably on some long sofa-esque type seat with his feet up and his bowl of rice, and pouring a bit of whiskey onto the rice every now and then just to give it some flavour, because we haven't got much on board to cook with. And listening to these two, I suppose, have at each other.
I mean,
Thinking about money, all the straps we could buy.
and water recyclers. Let me remind you that you're drinking your pee and it's only been filtered 4 times before it goes back in your body at the moment.
Yeah, hence the whiskey, I suppose.
Yeah, fair enough.
It's an important fund. And he'll finish up his bowl of rice and throw it on the table and head into the bridge.
Yeah, at the front of ship. Yeah,
at the front of ship, just in front of the crew lounge. I was going to say behind, just to throw your map way off.
Already just started drawing it
already, but no, towards the front of the ship, and he'll look around and see if there's any blinking lights. But he'll also take in the big vista of the what I like to think is quite a wide window at the front of the ship.
Yeah, I can imagine. It's designed to be able to handle, close-in encounters with big piles of wreckage, isn't it? So you'd want to see what you're doing.
Yeah, you've got to have a good view. So he'll take in some of the surroundings of the new system. Did you say we'd just arrived?
You're in your jump at the minute.
We're in a jump.
Yeah. So it's sort of blurring a bit around the sides. Yeah, everything's a bit blurry around the edge. It's got a certain kind of beauty. It's quite grandiose.
Maybe loses his feet a little bit after the rice soaked in whiskey and the constantly moving vista that he has through this big window.
Well, there's something you're going to need to do while you're there, Bill, because you see the waste disposal light flicks on, and every day on the ship.
How scared is he?
What?
His personal waste disposal light starts blinking in the corner of the eye.
It's like Logan's Run, but not.
It's embedded in his hand when he sees it. Oh no! Time for the toilet.
I wish I had one of them. It'd be so helpful.
It'd be really useful. He sees it flashing. It's an old ship, and every day what you need to do is you need to flush your waste out into the vast cosmos of space, like aeroplanes and trains do, but
and prisons
exactly. And now because it's an old ship, there's quite a heavy handle that you need to pull, like a handbrake, I guess. It's a very industrial thing, and if you succeed fully, all the waste is flushed out. but sadly, sometimes if you can't quite get it right, it can lead to block like backups in the pipes.
You mean we
And it
get
can-
constipated?
It can,
Engineering
it
issues.
can lead to a day of unpleasantness. A bit of flooding, some mopping needed around the bottoms of the toilets and such like. The sinks bubbling
Oh,
up.
God.
So,
We're back to colonica debris.
she's back. So, Bill, you're going to need to pull that handbrake, assuming you want to.
Yeah, sure. Before he does, he'll get on the intercom and he'll say, "I'm just going to do the waste flush. If anyone,
All right, give me 2
if
minutes.
anyone, yeah, no worries."
I'm presuming there's a whole number of systems that have to be. It's like, I don't know. You have to close one thing to open another thing, or the system, the circuit, or whatever. So she fumbles with a few things and makes sure that the right gates are open in the right place. And you can see on the bridge all these lights flicking on and off until the green flush light comes on, and then she gets back on the intercom. Okay, everything's nominal. Go for it.
And the other thing, of course, is to make sure no one sat on a toilet at the time, because they could potentially get their insides sucked out into space through the suckage. So,
Good to know. I'm glad you brought that up now, Luke.
so over to you then, Bill, with your hand on the poo brake.
The poo break.
The
It's
poo
time
brake.
to lose your shit, Bill.
Now, Bill, luckily, Bill has a very important skill for this, which we're going to bring up for this, which I'm going to allow him to use specially, even though it's a limited skill. I'm going to let you use it for this one, Bill. It's an important check after.
Very kind of you.
Now, what might I be talking about, Bill? What is a gambit of yours that's useful for this moment?
For flushing.
I wait till you hear the name of the gambit. I can see Luke already. My gambit is True Grit. Which allows me once per session to use grit instead of the assigned stat and roll with the upper hand.
So grit like a cat.
just sprinkle it over the top and it'll be okay.
True roughage is what we're really talking about.
Yeah.
But you're missing important bit. After True Grit, it says you've got real guts.
Oh, lovely.
So it's an important check to make. So upper hand means you get to roll 3 dice and choose your 2 highest.
Ooh.
And he'll get to add his grit, which is his strongest skill at +2. So he'll keep 2 of 3 and add 2 to it.
And add 2. Ooh, which is pretty good. Well, possibly. So that's an 11 on the dice.
It worked perfectly. Describe to me your moment of pleasure, I guess.
So he walks up to the console with this handbrake type system on the wall, like a flipped on its axis handbrake, and grabs hold. It's an old handbrake, so he pushes a button down on top and starts to pull it, and it's giving him a bit of trouble, but his guts and his resilience pull through, and he focuses his true grit, pulls the handle down. Here's the rushing of systems running down the ship.
Running down the ship.
Yeah. Waits a few seconds. Thinks, I hope there was no one directly behind us. In jump. I wonder what happens if you hit human waste at these sorts of speeds. And then pushes the handle back up.
Anna's been watching how long it takes, and she's been up there on the bridge when Bill's done this before and knows his struggle. And she gets on the intercom and like a complete smart ass. She says, if we had money, I could buy oil and I could grease the cogs, and then it'd be much easier, and you wouldn't have to strain your puny little arms there, Bill Raven. And then she just sucks on her curlies again and gets back to her hammering.
He'll get back on the. I mean, it worked.
Yeah.
If somebody else wants to do it every day, that's fine.
I'll get on the intercom and say, look, I don't disagree with you about the money, but saying if we have money is like saying if we had bacon, we could have bacon and eggs if we had eggs.
She literally punches the intercom panel just so they can hear her sigh.
Bill's probably sat there thinking about that for a minute. It'll take a little while to register.
It's more fun pressing the button, Sparrow. And
Yeah, gotta
hi,
have a button to
Ali. Gotta have the button.
I've got one job on this ship, and it's stupid.
Well, as the ship evacuates itself, you feel it lighter and sort of softer
Less
through the air.
bloated.
Less bloated. Yeah. It feels like it relaxes a bit, I guess. And all that rumbling stops, and it flies smoothly onwards towards your goal. A beautiful thing.
Does it look like we're moving faster?
Just a little bit.
Yeah, you can eyeball that out the window.
Yeah. Bill doesn't know that.
Anna is fascinated by the end of the clunking, so she starts investigating the waste management system to see if there was some kind of a blockage or maybe a kink in the piping that has somehow started to catch things up. So she's just tracing that all through now.
And while that's happening, I'm going to reach down and pick up that canister from under my foot.
Yeah.
Turn it over in my hand, see if there's anything marked on it indicating whose it was, and if it looks fairly innocuous, I'm going to pop it open and see what's inside. Okay.
The canister has the name B. Wilcox on it. BWILCOX. Now, what you'll have known from when you took charge of the ship back in the day was that this was someone that worked on it previously, I guess. Not the captain, so not as important as Mac, for example. But was someone that had spent years working on the ship, travelling to and from systems.
Okay.
Sorry. Cool.
Do you want to open it? Did you say? Is it innocuous enough?
I do, yes. I'm going to pull it open and see what B. Wilcox had in his canister, or her canister.
It could be Belinda.
It could be.
Bessie.
Yeah.
Brenda.
Bethesda.
Ben. Could you? Yes. Could you roll? Ben, could you roll a 1d6, please? A 1d6, just out of interest, please. Bring a little bit of excitement.
That's a 3.
A 3. Okay. You open it up, and the first good thing you notice is that nothing jumps out at you.
That's good.
It is good, especially in space.
Reaching Are we playing Prey? Is that what we're doing?
Exactly. It could be anywhere. Yeah, swerve. The graphics will change. Exactly. Who knows? You open up and you look inside. There's some material on top that looks like some clothing. It feels quite silky.
Okay. I guess I'll pull it out and shake it out enough to see what it is.
Okay.
As Ben's shaking it out, Anna comes into the lounge. She's got a towel. She's kind of cleaning off her hands. Catches an eyeful of Bill. She'll style and colour.
Well, it is because it is a lime green, like a silky waistcoat, a thin silky waistcoat, lime green. Very nice, very trendy in certain worlds. None of the worlds you've ever been to.
No.
But you can imagine it would be. So there's that. Underneath you see another slightly more satiny long strip of material.
All right. I'll throw the waistcoat thing onto the table and pull out the next thing.
It's a lovely paisley scarf.
Was anybody else quite nervous about what Luke was about to say then?
Yes, a little bit.
Not as nervous as I am after hearing him say it. He says,
Okay.
And there's one,
Assuming it doesn't have anything wrapped in it, it's just the scarf itself. I'll throw that onto the table and see what else is in there.
there is you can see from the shape it is a black felt beret.
The
Nice.
kind you got at the second store.
Okay. I'm going to pick that up. Any emblem on it or anything, like a badge or anything? Or just plain beret?
a small raspberry embroidered in it.
I love you, Luke. I love you.
It's very beautiful.
Yeah. Okay. I'll throw that on top of the other clothing and see if there's anything else in there.
There's a small postcard. There's a small postcard in there.
Okay.
And it has on it I'm going to find it. Where's it gone? There it is. It's there. It's from a casino called the High Roller Casino, which is in the Sutler system. It's quite well known.
Okay.
And so it's got the sort of the High Roller Casino sign on the front. Some glamorous thing. The ladies with the feathers. Holding the feathers and the big hat with the feathers at the top and all that.
Yeah.
Either side of sort of the entranceway, welcome kind of thing. And on the other side, it just says, "To whoever finds this, may my lucky gambling outfit bring you good fortune. Love, Boris."
Boris. Anna sees the design on the front and kind of blanches a little bit, but doesn't say anything. She looks a little bit surprised, though. And then she puts on the waistcoat.
All right. Throw the postcard down. Anything else in the canister, or is that the end?
That's it. That you can see. Roll a dice for me.
Okay.
Roll a savvy, please.
Savvy.
Yeah.
That's hopefully not too bad. That's 9 plus 2 is 11.
Oh. Okay.
Whoa!
Okay. Just as you're about to close it, you do see something glinting just in the corner. It is a gambling chip.
Okay.
With High Roller written on it.
All right. Denomination?
500.
Nice. Hey, money! No, I'm kidding. I don't say that. That's not what I say.
I'm going to sort of take it out and turn it over in my hand, and then say, I press the intercom because obviously Anna's already here, but I want to include Bill in it as well, and say, so I've stumbled across 500 cash in the form of a gambling chip for a casino. Does anyone know how to win at casinos?
Oh, shit. Anna just looks really miserable now. Looks really fed up.
Bill presses the button and says, "You take it to the desk and you cash it out for cash, and then you leave."
We could use the 500, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I know how to gamble if that's what you're asking, but truth be told, not very well.
I mean, I suppose the way to win at casinos is to be the casino owner, but I doubt we'd buy much of a casino with 500.
In fact, you could probably buy that chip. for 500, and that's what you'd get.
Okay.
Actually,
Well-
you'd buy that chip for 495. The house takes a cut.
Oh.
And then Anna looks like she wishes she hadn't spoken.
Maybe we walk in and we redeem it. I mean, it's local, right? It's where we're going.
Bill sees a pack of Anna's cigarettes lying around somewhere on the bridge and just takes one out and lights it up. Walks back
Smoking
over
is
to the
bad for you.
intercom. Yeah, but yeah, I mean, be silly not to go there. We've got money. It came with the ship, right? How much did we pay for the ship again?
We
It's
picked it
already-
up as scrap.
It's already providing.
You're already in profit for the ship.
Everything's going our way.
So save that till we leave the casino.
Yeah, we've basically done it with labour. I guess, you know, Anna's not wrong. I mean, irritating and whiny, but not wrong. We need money.
If you want to stop drinking your own pee, yeah, we need money.
Yeah, we should get on that.
Hmm. You don't want to know what the meat was made of that you ate last night.
Oh.
I wasn't confident enough that it was meat to ask.
You're on the right track.
Yeah.
That's why I stick to the rice.
Yeah. Okay. I'm not worried about sticking to the rice. I'm worried about the rice sticking to me. So, I mean, do people think this is a reasonable thing to do? We aim for a casino, right?
It's not. It's not the best place. That one. And they make a point of winning and winning ugly. Plus, if you don't have any enormous pile of money, they aren't going to give a crap about your 500 credit chip. So, let's just make it quick, shall we? And then maybe get some proper work.
Works for me.
Yeah,
I'd
that's
rather
good.
be taking a contract hauling stuff in this ship or going off looking for things for people. That would be great. But
Oh, I do love a fetch quest.
But now, what we've got is this chip.
Okay, fine.
It'll buy us some nice straps. We're in, we're out. We don't even have to gamble. In fact,
Bit of webbing.
Like that polymer stuff that comes in the 8 different colors.
yeah, the good stuff.
Yeah, that you don't have
Good
to
stuff.
singe to stop it from fraying. That stuff.
All right. I will flick the chip towards Anna.
She catches it literally like it's a hot potato, and then holds it away from herself with her thumb and forefinger.
And at that point, what happens is everyone needs to put their hands up like this,
Huh?
and let's make the noise together. And we find ourselves back in the Providence Tap as the three of them are standing up and walking towards the exit. Their names still ringing over the intercom from Mary. And Anna has that chip. It's held in that exact same position where he's faded out from. As she flicks it over in her hands.
Oh wait, this is my big flashback moment.
No, you're back now. You're back to the now, but I can pass over to you however you want to run with it. You can flash back or you can play the now. It's up to you.
Well, her quick flashback, and she doesn't let on. She's very, very closed. If you could sort of spin the camera around, you would see her as like a 7 or 8 year old girl, and a woman dressed in those enormous, ridiculous flamingo feathers, who is flicking chips across a table, across a massive roulette table, in that same casino. And it's apparent that that woman is her mother. But also that woman is paying her no attention at all. And she is just there. She's just been dumped. Nobody's looking after her. And that's the end of the flashback. That's all she's got. But she hates everything about this casino. Everything about it.
Okay.
Cheerful.
Yeah, cheerful. So as Anna pockets the chip back into her pocket, which is where you generally pocket things, and the crew head for the exit of the Providence Tap, that's where we're going to take our break for the evening, as we find ourselves on Sutler Orbital.
Okay.
Lovely.
Wonderful.
Brilliant.
So let's take just a few minutes. Let's take enough time for a toilet, a drink, and outside, whatever's needed. And we'll be back here for the second half very, very shortly.
Yep, just a few minutes.
Welcome back, everyone, to tonight's Boys from the Baltic Star, where we are playing Orbital Blues with Ewan here. We didn't fist bump Ewan. I'm feeling very disappointed.
I don't even know which way I'm meant to be going.
That way, there we go.
Yeah.
What? Lovely. We got Sock Fiddler, who will pretend that she's pointing. Wait, you try and point your arm up diagonally, even though you're not on camera.
Pow!
So, oh, lovely. Oh. And we've got Ben down there. I don't know. But yeah, we'll do that. We're
The
not
logistics.
reaching the logistics. My
I
arms
might
aren't
have to
that long.
chain them if I like
Hang
go
on.
down and.
Hang on,
across.
Oh, it'd be great if I could get a
I
hand
feel
coming out
like-
the top of his screen.
I feel like Ben's going to fist bump me with a hunting rifle.
Exactly. I can see right down his t-shirt from that here.
Easy. There's always Sperry to consider
Easy.
in that circumstance.
That is true.
He
Okay.
will fight you.
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm worried about. Okay, so we join our crew back on Sattler Orbital, and I'm going to bring the map up, which some eagle-eyed people might have noticed me bring in during the break, just to give you an idea of, as you burst into the system, what you're looking at. So you've landed, as we knew from last time, on Sattler Orbital, which is very much a space station. It's a bit better than like the ISS right now, sort of thing. You know, there's walkways, there's a bar for a start. I don't think they have that at the moment around Earth.
No.
There's a few bits and pieces which we can talk about in a minute, and so on. Then you've got the main planet of the system, Georgia Alpha 12. You've got the Sattler 47 root fuel hub. That's where you'll be getting your fuel. And then you've got a gas giant, Georgia Alpha 3, around which is one planet of note, which is Georgia Delta 3, upon which is Irvine International, which is like a mining colony.
Mhm.
And these are things you would know as you jumped into system, basically. And Reno 12 is like the main city on the Georgia Alpha 2. Okay, kind of the only city, really. So there we go. It's a very backwater system at the end of the day. And here you are in a backwater system in a very backwater place, which is the doorway of the Providence Tap down the corridor from security. So do you guys want to go straight there, or do you want to wander around for a bit? I pass the floor back to you.
Can I ask a potentially sticky question? How did we three meet? I was drunk. I don't remember. Where are you from? Who even are you? Where? I mean, why are we traveling together?
Good question. I believe you decided to get hold of this junked up ship, if I remember correctly.
With an awesome reputation from one of its previous lives.
Well, as I remember, it's only because that other guy in the bar said that he wanted to turn it into some kind of, I don't know, outer system broadcast pirate radio thing. And we were like, it's too nice for that. And I know nothing about you two, and yet we're about to go do some crime, I feel, together.
Who said anything about crime?
Well,
I'm now starting to contemplate my choices.
We have no jobs, we have no money, and a sharpening need for money.
I mean, I suspect we probably did meet in a bar because I was at a bit of a loose end at the time with really nothing ahead of me whatsoever. And it's the kind of place where I might have blundered into someone who was also looking for a project, shall we say.
A direction in life.
Yeah.
Yeah, certainly Bill could have been found wanting his next. What the hell am I going to do with myself? And I overheard somebody in a bar talking about this wreck of a ship.
Okay, I mean, I'm fine. You haven't tried to stab me in my sleep yet. I'm whatever. It's fine.
Yeah.
The locks are
Fine.
good on that ship, I've heard.
Wait, we have locks?
Oh, not all the rooms have locks.
Also, at what point are we going to go through all the cupboards and get rid of all those bits of crap that have been left behind?
I can't shake the feeling that there may be other canisters and other things that didn't try to kill me.
It's not all crap. You saw what was in that canister. It's
Yeah,
500.
pure gold. Check out my waistcoat. I look like 1,000,000 credits.
Not to mention the beret, which is perfect for any crime that we do commit.
I'm not wearing that beret. It'll cover up my amazing hair.
That's
True.
As you swirl your waistcoat around, sort of showing it off, Anna, there's a sort of a slightly straggled middle-aged man who's wandering past you down the corridor back towards the docking bay, who sort of wolf whistles at you as he walks past.
I make a very rude gesture in reply. and then pause, and I'm like, do you know me? Do I need to apologize for that?
Don't know you yet. I'd love to get to know you.
Whatever. I make the gesture again and turn around.
Okay. And he sort of like shrugs.
I feel like I shut down an entire story up there.
No, you didn't. or did you? I can bring the wolf whistler back. Don't you worry about that. he's gonna follow you everywhere. And you sort of half turn around and see him wandering down to the ships. So you're okay. And so you are in the corridor outside the Providence tap. Like I say, you've got Frontier Security Services. You've got opposite that is the Conway Communications, which is a chain, like an internet cafe. Because in this sort of world, if you need to send messages outside of system or research things quickly, you would use that kind of thing. It's a big chain. It's across the whole galaxy. That's no problem.
So when you say researching things, like, I don't know, putting Bill Raven into the search engine,
You could certainly try.
I wouldn't. I trust you guys completely. I just hypothetically.
Has anyone looked at Anna's search history?
You don't want to. Let me tell you. I'll save
Can
you
we
your
do that if
blushes.
she's doing all her searching from these chains? I imagine it'd be a lot harder to gain her history.
Bill Raven undercoat.
What's with Bill Raven's coat?
MacGuffin, Captaincy.
At this point, Bill will turn to the other two and he'll say, is there anything else anyone wants to do while we're here? Or are we just going straight back to security and moving on?
I mean, I don't have anyone to talk to yet. The only people who care if I live or die are in this corridor.
No, they're not.
Thanks.
Oh.
Wait, who else cares?
Whoa.
He's just gone round that corner.
You thought it was wolf whistling you.
I really don't have any particular reason to go to the communications place unless you want to. It's fine. Not in any tearing hurry.
Luke, is there likely to be some sort of online-based place within system that we could look for jobs?
There is
such an internet cafe.
Well, you would remember, of course, that when you went into Frontier Security Services, Mary told you there was
Bounty
a
board.
bounty board with
Yes.
all the jobs.
I mean, less. When you say bounty board, do you literally mean? Because I literally just took it as a board with bounties on.
Well, you
Like
can take one
chocolate bounties.
if you're hungry.
I just want the red one.
No. Like actual people with bounties on their heads, opposed to just
That
general.
sounds sticky.
Yeah, that'd be it. Generally, the ways to get that sort of job is either bounty board or find people that need things doing for them. Like at the bar, of course,
Yeah.
you sort of struck that deal that there might be something in an office somewhere that you might share the amount with the barman, if you remember back.
That deal that we didn't trust in any way and tried to absolutely avoid doing. That deal.
That was the one. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like if you want a job as a taxi driver or something, if that's what you're looking for, I'm sure you can find some stuff online. Or like on this, in fact, at the end, as you look down the corridor, you'll notice there's a Blast Off Burger, which is a chain food place, and there's an 812, which is the convenience store, and a Hot Pot, which is a coffee shop. They might have jobs going, if that's what you want out of life.
Seriously.
Good news, viewers. There's 3 places and there's 3 of us.
That fast food joint of Agnar's is coming true in a different campaign.
Roll to successfully flip burger.
Exactly. That's definitely a savvy. That.
Okay, that's fine. As long as I've got it in my head where we need to, what we will get from the bounty board, I guess.
Where is the bounty board actually physically located? Is that in the front office, in the
In
security office?
the Frontier
By Mary.
Security Service, yes. It's
Yeah.
on the right-hand side as you go in. Yep.
Okay. Well, I'm tempted to go and look at that rather than anywhere else then for the moment.
Yeah, should we head there? Anna, do you wanna
Okay.
got any searching to do?
Why are you asking me?
Fine, let's all go to the bounty board.
I'm sorry, Ewan.
Okay, so the 3 of you head back to Frontier Security Services, and of course Mary is still on the counter. She was the one that just radioed through to you, and she looks up as you come in. She's just sort of stubbing out her 14th cigarette of the morning and putting the next one into her mouth, ready to light as you come in. As you remembered from when you came in before, so she's in front of you. Behind her is that boarded up office area where there's other security people working, but not helping out at all.
Yep.
To the left, there's holding cells, and to the right, there is the bounty board with table, a few little steel chairs, the coffee machine, and the cigarette machine is there as well.
Okay. Well, I guess I'll stride over to Mary first, and check that we don't need to collect anything from her or whatever in order to have our paperwork in order.
Okay, Mary sort of to say she smiled at you would definitely be an exaggeration, but she acknowledges you, and she remembers you, and that's not bad.
That's good. Hey, Mary, you called us over. Is there anything we need to do now, or are we just on our own?
Thank you for coming back, Mr. Guffin. Everything seems to be in order. I ran a quick history as it was, and while there were definitely some interesting things, nothing that would stop a system like Sutler from allowing you to travel within it freely. So and she sort of reaches onto the desk and pulls out like 3 bits of paper. You've got a folded bit of paper which has been stamped, and like a little card, like a little Visa card. And she sort of puts them on the desk and said, "All I need is for each of the 3 of you to sign the back of the card, and then you're free to travel around Sutler, unless you cause trouble, of course."
Would Mary know that I'm from this system?
I'll tell you what. Are you wanting her to
I'm indifferent
Just-
either
just
way. I think
indifferent
either
either
way
way.
it would be kind of weirdly interesting because either she's trying to stay anonymous or she's known and there's somebody who knows her history.
Okay,
So,
well, I'm
either
going
way.
to roll a dice and not tell you the result.
Oh, fantastic! Thanks so much.
Good deal.
I really wish I'd said nothing now.
Okay. Thank you. You wouldn't know, but she either does or doesn't. But you don't know.
No.
She doesn't seem to like from when you came in. She didn't seem to treat you any differently to the other two. She was very professional to the three of you, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bill will sign his quickly, and then he'll wander off over to the cigarette machine.
Okie dokie. Are you looking to buy some cigarettes now?
He was going to fumble around in his pockets for a bit of change. Wait for the other two to engage Mary, and then just give it a nudge and see if anything.
Okay.
You know that the hip.
Yeah.
Oh, the old hip. Oh, I
The
like
old
your
hip. He'll
thinking.
give it the old hip.
I will happily sign my card and say thank you, Mary, and tuck it away in my pocket.
I've caught on to what Bill's up to, and I slide along the counter and sort of lean across with my head, like my elbows on the counter, and I'm leaning my head in my hand as if I'm flirting a little bit. And I'm like, so, Mary, me old chestnut, just basically to get her to turn away slightly to give Bill a bit more cover.
Okay.
Roll the machine.
Roll a savvy check for me, please.
Okay, that's 2d6.
Yes, please, plus your savvy. And I think because she's so in Orbital Blues, what you can do is you can build up basically a boon versus bane. So
Okay.
for me, she's not expecting the cigarettes to be. So I'm just talking it through the first time for you and others. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, cool.
She's not expecting someone to be stealing the cigarettes at this point, so she's not looking out for it. So that would put it up to the rolling with advantage, right?
Okay.
At the same time, I need you to how obvious are you being about it?
Well, she's already clocked me for kind of a dick. So like when I walked in, I gave her some shade and wasn't like the most upfront.
She's very observant and very smart, so probably yeah.
So I'm just like, so marry me, old chestnuts. How long until you get off work? Let's go see Marvin together later. Meanwhile, I roll 7 + 1 is 8.
Okay, and that was a flat roll, right? So you've hit that, which means that because you've covered well and because she wasn't expecting it, we're going to let Ewan roll with advantage, basically, to do the nudge.
Ewan, we're doing our first piece of crime together.
Just after we were talking about it as well.
Yeah.
She wasn't expecting it. She was sort of caught by Anna's over the top, leaning over, making a big signature or something, and so yeah. So can you roll a savvy for you, please, Bill? But with the advantage.
With the 3.
I've got to keep using the right word for it though. I just call it advantage. It's not called
The upper
advantage.
hand.
The upper hand, yeah.
The upper hand.
Not against the odds.
Oh, that is pretty good. It's a good job too as well because my other dice was a 2, but I got a 5 and a 6.
Oh, lovely.
My savvy is 0, however.
And you could have chosen that point to choose True Grit because of course the poo pipe was another day.
It often is.
It is. Can you roll 1d6 please and tell me what the number is to see what falls out?
Yeah. That's a 1.
Help me God, Bill, if you didn't even get my brand.
Sadly, the dirty cheap cigarettes of the system, Debonair.
Debonair.
Because we know with cigarettes, the flasher the name, the cheaper the cigarette.
Yep.
It's the way it works in the world.
Yep,
So a pack of Debonair fell out. You could have had Felton's, which is a mid-range cigarette, or Le Creuset, which was some cheap cigars.
Ah. Okay, fair enough. He'll reach down, pick them up, put them in his pocket, and head back over to the desk.
Mary sort of half looks up as you turn up and say, "Is there anything else I can help you with?" She's trying to judge whether Bill is wearing anything under the coat or not, or whether he is indeed a flasher.
It's not a full length.
Oh, even worse.
Full length coat. It's a jacket.
I haven't even got a trench coat.
Oh, no.
I mean, that's what it says. That's what it said on the table.
So you're walking around like Donald Duck with his little bottom out.
Oh,
whoa.
Hey, you should try cooking rice like this.
I've got nothing to say.
Okay, so clearly Bill's wearing clothes. That's a good start.
Yeah.
And it only took about 2 hours into the stream for us to find that out.
Yeah.
Okay, so Mary asks, is there anything else I can help the three of you with?
Mary.
Not
Anna,
unless you've
Anna.
got any hints about jobs we should be looking out for on the board.
Mary sort of nudges over to the board and she says, well, if you're thinking about the board, on the board there'll be jobs that might be 6 credits or 4 credits. There's a big 6 credit job at the minute, but it's not going to be easy, you know.
How come?
I'll tell you what. And she sort of walks over to the board and says, "Come over. It's your first time here. I'll show you. I'll talk them through with you if that's what you want."
Lovely.
And she walks over to the board, and which is on the screen now, if you can see. She said, "So the 6 credits alive. This is very important. Is a guy called John Tequila Rogers, who recently escaped from Folksong Penitentiary. So they want him back, of course. He's got previous in gambling and fraud and identity theft, so he's a real mixed bag. They believe he's somewhere in the system. Yeah, and anyone that breaks out of prison is definitely, public enemy number 1. So he's 6 credits. The next one, Wallace Forbes, is 4 credits and he's wanted alive. Now, he's one that the bigwigs really want. The Perazzos. They're the big family in system, and they own the casino here. And they're sort of leaning on security a bit, I guess, for this. Wallace Forbes is wanted in connection with numerous heists on big name casinos. And so it's when they heard he was coming to system, they were a little bit wary about him, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
And he was last seen heading towards Reno 12. There's someone called Eileen Blatto, and I know this lady a little bit. I've run into her before. 4 credits dead or alive. She's wanted for robbery in GTA. And she leads a gang called the Desert Cats on Reno 12. Pretty tough. Spends a lot of time on the back roads, hard to find. But she will be on Reno 12. I've never known her leave.
You know the leader of a gang, Mary?
It's my job to know a lot of people.
Full of surprises.
I've led a long and full life. What can I say? Ben, you and Ethan, could you roll a savvy for me, please?
Oh, not again.
Yeah.
What's with the savvy? It's an 8.
She'll sort of smile at you and say, well, between you and me, I first came to the Sutler system 10 years ago on the trail of a bounty myself. So, I've had to speak to a lot of different people and find out a lot of different things. So, yeah, sure, I know. Just watch your back with her, I'd say.
You used to be a bounty hunter.
Can you roll another savvy with
Go on, Ewan.
against the odds, please?
Okay.
She barely knows you, man.
Yeah,
Knows
it's a 3 in the lowest 2.
you.
No, that's a 3. Okay, I'm still going to show it.
She sort of shuts you down a bit. She's like, "Yeah, that's right," but it was a long time ago, and things have changed since then. Anyway, even Delchik is an arms dealer, and he was last seen heading. Well, he was at Urban Industrial, which is the mining colony on the moon. He's a big deal, but we need him for questioning. We believe he knows a lot about the people he works with. He's dealt with a lot of bad hombres, So we definitely want him alive and in the sort of condition where he can answer questions. Let's put it that way.
So, not a broken jaw, but broken limbs are fine.
Doesn't stop him talking, does it?
Tongue in mouth.
Yeah.
Nice.
As long as he can speak, that's all we need.
Okay.
And as long as he knows what he's saying, I guess. And the last big one on the board at the minute is Alice Rutters. 4 credits, again for questioning. She's part of an intergalactic smuggling ring, and she coerces male truckers for rides between systems.
Sorry.
So that's how she gets around, There's a lot of trucking around. There's a lot of deliveries, of course, between systems, whether it's booze, whether it's mining equipment, anything. There's a lot of trucking, a lot of shipping going on.
So what, she encourages the truckers to be like mules for her contraband?
She certainly does. Sweet word here and there, more than sweet words on some occasions. Some wooing, I believe.
A woo?
A woo.
Wow. She's out of control.
She certainly is. And that's why we want her. Alive for questioning.
Luke, how many prisons are there on Reno 12?
So, in the system, I'm talking as Mary.
Huh?
So in the system, we've got the Frontier Security Services here with our holding cells. And on Reno 12, they've got one big system security which is right on the strip, which is like the main street on Reno 12, right? And it's similar to a bit bigger, probably. And again, the bad hombres go there, and they're questioned, but anyone that's getting, is deciding they're going down, they're shipped out of system. We don't have any prisons here. Like I say, Folksong is the nearest, the one that John Rogers was in. That's only a system across, But yeah, we don't keep them here. Just for questioning.
Just as an aside, I didn't realise that there were no prisons in the system. So can we assume that Anna served her time in Folksong?
Yes, that's absolutely
Thank you.
Okay.
That was a secret.
Oh!
Pretend you didn't hear it.
Anymore.
So there's no prisons in the system. So I'm sure that means absolutely nothing to Anna. Okay, moving on. Okay, yeah. So then Mary sort of shows it says, if you capture someone though, if you want the credits, you got to bring them back here, or you got to bring them to Reno 12. Once they're through those doors, the doors to the holding cells, the money's yours, as long as they're back in condition needed. What happens after that is none of your concern. We also throw out bounties for like low-grade hoodlums and that. You'll come across some people working for others. I know John Rogers has got some people working for him. And you bring them back to one of these two and you might pick up a credit or two. Make it worth your while.
Funny, Mary. Do you ever ponder the nature of existence when you're paying low-grade hoodlums to catch low-grade hoodlums? Do you ever think that the snake is devouring its own tail here a little bit?
To be honest, Miss Kist, I'd rather the whole snake devoured its whole damn self.
Wow, Mary. You and I, we should get drinking.
Still too early for me. It's only 9:30. And I've still got a headache from the other night. So don't you worry about that. I'm not the drink I used to be.
We're on another time zone, Mary. We started at 4.
Okay. Is there anything else with you three? I'll get back to my desk.
That's fine. Thank you for your help, Mary.
You're welcome. If you need me, come back, just not too soon. And Mary heads back to her desk, where she stubs out the cigarette that she was smoking while talking to you, lights another, and starts scrawling on a bit of paper.
Anna tips her hat and then gives her no more attention.
All right.
So anyone on that list take either of your fancy?
Well, starting at the top, you get the most return for the escape con. Probably because it's embarrassing that they lost one.
It sounds pretty standard, I'd imagine.
Because he doesn't look as dangerous based on his crime record as some of the ones that are worth less, if you see what I mean.
Or that's just the crime record that they want you to know about, and there's more on another page they haven't put up there.
Oh, there's volume 2 of his criminal record.
Well, I would guess. But also, let's just have a little recce at what we're. I mean, Bill, you're quite, I don't know, muscly, I guess. Like, what's under that coat? We don't know. And Mac, what do you do? Do you have a gun? Do you? I don't know what.
I have a gun.
Can you use it?
Yeah, I can use it.
Okay, that's a bit scary. I'm just like, how equipped are we to deal with potentially dangerous criminals?
I feel very equipped to deal with Alice Rutters.
Okay, I mean, I think a number of men have felt quite equipped to deal with her, to be fair.
The reality is we don't have a lead on where she is. So if we're going to be traveling around the system anyway, we might blunder into her. She might even think we're an easy mark if she blunders across one of us alone.
Well, I tell you what, if she's after truckers, she's going to be out at the refueling stop.
Could well be right.
You know, it's taken me a little while, but it strikes me as funny as that there's somebody on that list whose crimes include gambling, and they're just above somebody on that list whose crimes include heists on big casinos.
Yeah.
I don't. And we're going to a casino, aren't we, at some point?
Well, look, the casino's on Reno 12, right?
Mm-hmm.
We don't know where John Rogers might be, but they think he might be in system. Realistically, we can't just go opening cupboards and looking for him, can we? So let's just keep our eyes open for him.
There might be some lockers.
Nobody in this party is particularly attracted to lockers. That's someone else you're thinking of.
Oh, you're right.
How dare you?
Wallace Forbes, Eileen Blatto, both anticipated to be on Reno 12, and we already have a little mini errand, right, that will take us there. So maybe that's where we start. Delshik, I mean, an arms dealer wandering around an industrial estate sounds brilliant to me, but there is a problem with arms dealers. They're usually armed.
Mm-hmm.
And Rutters, well, we could blunder into her anywhere, right? I'm just thinking our best hit, maybe, is to aim for Reno 12, where we know at least we'll be able to redeem a chip. And we keep our eyes open for the others, especially Forbes and Blatter, right?
Sure. Anna winks and says, "You're the captain."
Look, I think we need to actually settle this, because this is otherwise going to become a thing we just talk about for the next 6 years that we travel together.
Okay.
So we need to pick a captain.
I mean, that's some commitment, 6 years.
Yeah. I mean,
But sure.
You don't want me as your captain.
Well, you definitely don't want me as your captain.
No, we definitely do want you as the captain.
I feel that's ignorant on your part. It's just because you don't know how rubbish I'd be as a captain.
Well, so far you've made all the big decisions, like when we drink, where we drink, what we drink, when we stop drinking. That's pretty captainy.
I don't remember making any of those decisions. Maybe I was drunk.
Maybe you were.
Also pretty captainy.
I think we should
However-
put it to a vote.
I feel. Part of me says that's fair, but part of me fears it.
It seems like a good way to get 3 people voting for somebody that's not themselves.
Yes.
I can't be your captain because I'm not allowed to captain a ship.
That can't be true.
Uh,
Who's barred from captaining a ship?
you know,
Not even mutineers are not allowed to do that.
well, okay, I mean, I can fly a ship. I just can't do trade in one. That's all. Yeah.
Is the problem here that you're looking for a name to put on a piece of paper when we get into system that absolves you of any wrongdoings that may occur with that ship? Is that what we're talking about here?
No, it's a bit late for that, is all I'm saying.
Because if you want a name, you can put my name down as if you want when we get to the next security.
Okay.
There you
There
go.
we go.
Thanks. Well done.
Yeah,
But I'm not
captain.
making any
Sorted.
decisions.
Captain.
No, we're fine. We're there.
Excellent. Good choice.
Captain,
Well done, Captain.
Bill Raven. All
You,
right,
you
cool.
hear a voice shout out from one of the holding cells, who's obviously been listening to you squabble. Just says, "With a jacket like that, he looks like a captain."
Hey, can we get that man a packet of cigarettes?
Mary turns to him, says, "Shut up, Indy. Be quiet. Don't be an idiot."
Indeed. So, Captain Bill, what's your choice?
Captain Bill. I'm writing it down.
You volunteered.
It's canon.
Captain Bill, says Kelly.
Wow.
Got off lightly.
Oh, it's the last time I roleplay anything. Sure. Right, fine. To the ship. Here's your rations, and he'll take out 2/3 of the. He'll open the pack of cigarettes. He'll take out a third and give it to Mac, and take out a third and give it to Anna. What do you? Let's go after Wallace Forbes.
Okay.
All right.
I mean, aye, Captain.
That's what I thought you meant.
Fair dues. I think that's a good call.
And as Max says, if we come across anybody else along the way, remember those names.
Do we have any? I mean, do these things, once you look at the bounties, do you have to actually pick them up and take them off the board, so to speak?
No, it's a free for all. Whoever
So
comes back
essentially,
first.
we can randomly say we'll go after all 5 in parallel, and whoever we bring back, we bring back.
Sure,
it's just whichever ship, whichever crew completes it first gets paid first.
Yeah.
And do they have just a little bit more information, like mugshots and personal information, description, that kind of stuff as well?
Maybe. There might be someone to ask about it.
Mary!
Yes, how can I help you, Mr. Guffin? I hear you're not captain anymore. Should I be talking to the actual dog that wags the tail, or just the tail?
Wow. I mean, he's a raven, Mary. Come on.
I think we're interested in whatever information you've got on your 5 fugitives.
Okay. Any in particular?
Yes, the 5 fugitives.
Okay. So, Roll for me. Ooh. Do you want to be friendly with her or a bit mardy with her? How do you want to go about it?
I mean, truthfully, I don't have any reason to not be friendly with her. She's been completely straightforward and easy with us.
Then let's go Savvy then, please.
Okay. Savvy, that's 10 plus 2 is 12.
Oh, very good. Wow. Mary says, well, if you're interested in getting them, John Rogers, I can't say too much more. I can throw you out a mugshot if it's helpful.
You got his prison records?
I only know what I've got from here. He's got his gambling fraud, identity theft, and that his bounty is unusually high. It might be because they want to, show off to people that you can't go breaking out of prison. Probably, in my experience. Let me just run through the records. Let's see if I can find him. She sort of reaches behind the desk, pulls out some records. John. There he is, John Rogers. Can you see it? Has it come up?
Yep.
Wow.
She says, John, he's a sharp and thin man. His hair's always quite nicely coiffed. Likes colourful clothes. Quite eccentric, I guess. Makes friends easily. That's John Rogers. You want me to keep going?
Right.
Keep going with the others?
Yeah, please.
I don't have a mugshot from Wallace Forbes, but I do know that he's... people have described him as a bit greasy. Kind of a greasy, paunchy con man. They said he sounds like a real catch.
A greasy, paunchy con man. That's a collection of words I'm keeping for a while.
Sounds like it could have been a song with a ukulele in hand. Yeah, numerous heists. From what I've heard, it's always like badly fitting suits, playing like he doesn't know what he's doing. And then before a casino knows, they're millions out of pocket.
Is Wallace Forbes his real name?
As far as we know, no reason to believe otherwise.
Okay.
Eileen Blatto, of course, we've got a picture of Eileen. She's local. We'll find her. There she is. There's Eileen.
Oh, come on, Eileen.
She's the leader of the Desert Cats, a biker gang which takes up like runs the back roads of Reno 12. She wears she's known by her trademark red leather biker jacket. So she's always, every time, whenever I spoke to her, it's always red leather biker jacket when she's out and about on the streets.
Okay.
Ivan, no picture of Ivan. It sounds like he changes his appearance quite frequently, it said. But he does have a faded tear-shaped tattoo below the right eye, and that is the one thing that people have managed to track him on. Facial hair, clothes, how he carries himself, changing all the time. He puts weight on, he loses weight for jobs. He vanishes for a few months and comes back totally different. But that tattoo's always there.
Mm-hmm.
It's like his calling card,
Faded teardrop. Right.
Faded teardrop, yeah, righto. Then Alice Rutters, we know that she's blonde. She's got permed hair and blue eyes.
I mean, that's not a lot to go on, if I'm honest.
Well,
Super attractive to a trucker.
Oh, she's exactly what a trucker's looking for.
Mm.
Yeah, let's be honest, though, those truckers.
So flat head can breathe through her ears.
I mean, if you're a long distance space trucker, I'm guessing you get a bit lonely sometimes, right? They might be quite low hanging fruit, is what I'm saying.
Yeah, I mean, I'm probably quite attractive to a space trucker.
Sometimes, Ben, the way you phrase things.
Mary sort of smiles, allows herself a smile at that joke. And she says, well, they'll often spend a week alone on the, jumping between systems. come in here, get their papers signed, dump their stuff, refuel at the the refueling centre, and then back out of the system for the next thing. It takes a special sort of person, you know.
It takes, okay, here's my view on Alice Rutters, is she's jumping in and out of spaceships, crewed by men who've been by themselves and will continue to be by themselves without stopping for a long time. And she's doing that with a complete confidence that she's getting off that ship again, which means she's either armed or completely able to defend herself should anything go sideways. Let's not chase Alice.
That makes sense to me.
Alice is a bad girl. We don't mess with them.
But on the flip side of that, you know, we pick her up at the refueling station and say that we're off to wherever. Doesn't really matter. And then, what? We keep her out of view of the bridge and just take here.
Tie her up.
No. You know, just keep her busy in the crew lounge with some rice or something, and just come straight back here and lead her off the ship and jump.
We're
on.
not her profile.
You know? She doesn't even need to know she's in trouble.
Well,
she off the ship.
I don't think she's stupid, and also
we're
I think
probably
she's
not her profile.
Yeah,
Right.
well, there's 2 men and 1 woman for a start. Yeah, I think not Alice. I think Wallace is probably going to be the easiest.
I mean,
heist guy.
I tend to think
Guy.
Wallace and possibly Eileen.
That sounds good.
Yeah.
To be fair.
And Eileen does have one other advantage.
The really cool red jacket.
The fact that if we find her, we can just shoot her in the back of the head and claim the money.
Okay. Okay. That's a new dynamic. Okay.
I mean, what Wallace does as well, to be fair, we've got a 500 credit chip burning a hole in our pocket that I'm sure he can make very good use of and turn into a substantially larger amount.
So your plan is to catch the criminal by offering him 500 credits and watching him do his thing and then bringing him in?
Yeah.
Excellent. I think Captain Bill's got a plan. Let's go do it. Can I get more?
I think Captain Bill's got something. Let's.
I'm not the one who wanted to put it to a vote.
I'm not complaining. I mean, he's got the gun. You've got the plan. I'm just here for the ride. It's fine. By the way, this is my new friend Indy. Yeah, she points to the guy in the cage. She's been giving him cigarettes and winking and stuff. He's cool. When he gets out, he's gonna be a mechanic.
Yeah, he sort of smiles at the 3 of you, and sort of as he puffs on the cigarettes, he sort of nods to that, and he says, "I really do love your jacket, though, man. Where'd you get it?"
This has been with me a long time. I didn't actually buy it. It was a gift.
A gift. Oh man, I wish I could buy it off you, but you know they don't let me carry money in this cell.
What do they? What do you do with his money, Mary? How much has he got?
She sort of looks over at you and she's like, he's got nothing. He's got absolutely nothing. I think he had something, but when he came in here, all he's got is his ill-fitting suit, and he was running with some. He was brought in just by some rookie hunters. He wasn't, he didn't fight back. I don't think he knew what was going on. I think he was thrown to the wolves, the poor guy.
What's he in for?
Why don't you ask him? I'm sure he'll spin you a story.
Oh, look, is this how we would recruit crew members?
Are you trying to recruit crew members? Oh no.
Maybe.
No, not at all. Bill will turn to him and he'll say, "Hey, what? Hey, hey, Wallace, what are you in for?"
Wallace? You haven't caught him yet. Indy.
I know, but he's got a bad looking suit.
He's,
I'm just
yeah, he's
Oh, I
playing the same
see.
ticking
game.
off some
Yeah.
boxes.
Wallace. He's like, I'm not Wallace, friend. My name's Indy. Indy Carter.
Indy Carter.
He's sort of dishevelled and a bit weaselly. His hair's kind of like strawish.
How
And it's-
how old is he roughly?
Well, let's have a look at a picture. I've actually got a picture of him. There's Indy Carter. There he is. There he is. I'll say 40s, I'd say. He looks 40s.
Huh.
What they get you on?
Nothing true. To be honest, I was totally framed.
Yeah. Aren't we all?
I am. Honestly, this was... I did nothing. I was... My former business partner stitched me up. He sort of bailed on me, threw me to the hunters chasing him.
Mm-hmm.
You know, gave them an easy 1 credit bounty instead of his, larger bounty, and just fed me to the wolves.
What do you do when you're not, escaping the law badly?
I'm an accountant.
Oh,
I'm
really?
I'm an upstanding member of society. Can't you tell? Look, I can't.
Absolutely look like that.
I'm not made for prison. I haven't lost 5 minutes in the prison.
Turn around. Indy, turn around for me. Just face away for a second.
He sort of turns. He sort of shrugs confusedly and turns around.
Yeah, and then just lean forward, like bend down. If you put your hands on the bed, and just like bend forward a bit.
He's a bit confused, but he does it for you.
Yeah, you don't have the hips for prison, mate. I'm sorry.
Exactly. I can't. I can't go, man. I can't.
No.
I know.
How much was the bigger bounty?
Mm.
Your business partner. What are we talking?
At the time, can you roll a? I'm going to give both Anna and Bill a chance to roll for this because you're both been involved in the conversation.
Yep.
I'm going to give you both. You can roll with the advantage because he seems quite desperate, I guess, if that makes sense.
Okay.
But
what does that mean?
So you get to roll 3 dice and keep your highest 2. Bill, you're going to roll with your savvy. You've been talking quite nicely.
Damn it. I need to stop doing that.
And Anna, you've sort of been... you're going to start with savvy as well, please.
Okay, so that's what, +1. I've lost my feet.
Okay, well, it's an 8 for me.
11 plus 1 is 12.
Oh, wow. And you're both being quite friendly to him still?
Yeah.
Yeah. He's like, I don't know. At the time, he was it's this guy called I don't know. Can you help me? Could you possibly? Can you clear my name? I'm honest. I'm innocent. Honestly, I'm sure everyone in here says it, but I am. I'm innocent.
I mean, we could try and clear your name. At the very least, we could get you some revenge for him throwing you to the wolves, right? And he'll look over at the other two.
Revenge only counts if I don't have to spend a night in that prison. I wouldn't last an hour. I'm scared of that. I don't want to go in.
Well, I don't know the situation. You say prove your innocence. I don't know what it is.
He's okay. The guy's
What you're
name.
trying to prove yet?
So Saul Jackson. He's my former business partner. And to be
Where-
honest, nothing sticks. You know, he's like Teflon. You know, nothing sticks. And I bet he's wiped everything clean already. You know, he's sly, he's slick. He
Yeah.
patses. You know, he'll make friends and then throw you to the wolves. It's what he did to me. I worked with him for like 3 years, and like that, it passed me up. I can't.
Anna, unusually, seems to have lost all of her savvy, clever, smart arsery, and is just completely sold. And looks at the other two and just says, like, completely openly, we have to help him. We have to.
Please do.
Where's he wanted? I mean, his name's not up on the board, right? Mary.
Well, his
Let's
name's
do a little shout
his
over to
name
Mary.
won't be on the board because he's already been caught.
Unless you mean Saul? Sorry.
Yeah,
You mean
yeah.
Saul.
Oh.
He'll say, like I say, he makes it disappear. You know, he knows. There's just ways. If you know the right people, you can get. You know, this. You know, I heard you talking about that John Rogers 6 credits.
Uh-huh.
You can't make that disappear. But you know, 2, 3, maybe even 4, if you know the right person, you can make that disappear.
Where does he operate out of?
He moves around. He does.
He's got to have a base, though, a stash, a business partner, a fence.
Could
He
you
does have a
both?
business partner. He's in front of us. In
Yeah. This is what happens to the business partners.
I
right?
mean, one that he hasn't shipped overboard.
Could the two of you both roll savvy again for me, please?
Yeah.
With advantage, please.
8.
Hey, cool. And Ewan?
Oh, sorry.
That's
thought
okay.
Thought you meant the other two.
No. Old Mac is just sitting back, smart talking.
That's also an 8.
No. Okay. He sort of sighs and he says, "Well, Saul. With him, it's all about drugs. System to system, all right? And everyone knows it. She knows it." He points over at Mary, who sort of looks like she's not paying attention, you know. She knows it. They know it. Points to the back. All right. You go into the Blast Off Burger and talk to a random person there, you know, the 812. Go talk at the bar. Go down to Reno. They know it. They just can't make anything stick. You know, and like they're saying now that he's into boxing, but he ain't into boxing. Like making himself some big promoter, he ain't doing that. It's drugs, man. Everything with him is a cover. Me, nothing to do with it. I'm just doing tax. I just do taxes, you know. I sort people's books out. Yes. Maybe I find them an extra few hundred here and there, you know. But we all do that, right? That's what you hire an accountant for. Finding the extra bit here and there, you know, that you can mark off your clothes as being for your business, you know, hide a little bit there, here and there. Done it for years, you know. That's me doing my job. I'm proud of it.
Indy, can I kind of stop you there? Like, just, you know, everybody's sad. Everybody's got a story. Fine, whatever. What are you from the system? Are you from the Sutler system?
I'm not from the Sutler system, no.
Okay. How long have you been in the Sutler system?
Oh, we were probably here for about
15 to 25.
yeah. So don't say that. I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't last 15 to 25 minutes. 6
Anna
months.
turns around and gives Mac a high five.
6 months.
Okay. How about this? We do you this favor, and then down the line, you do us a favor.
He sort of thinks about it. And you've rolled so well, actually. I'm not gonna make you roll again. You've hit everything. He sort of quite trusts you. And he says, I tell you what, right? If you can get me out of here, there is something I can help you out with.
Okay.
I promise, all right? There is something that will make it worth your while.
Is it money?
He sort of looks over at Mary. You can't quite tell whether she's talking. And
I'm kidding.
he sort of clams up a little bit. And he's like, oh, it's worth your while. Okay.
Sure. Fine. Anna lights a cigarette, gives it to him through the bars, just sort of walks away.
Okay.
Skiss, hi, Lil.
Hey, Miss Skiss has turned up. Hey.
Hey, Skiss.
You all right? How you doing, Skiss? You okay?
Oh, thanks for the raid.
Yeah, I know we love a raid. Thank you,
Wonderful,
Skiss.
thank you.
Raid. What were you playing? Were you playing a Kirby again, Skiss? Tonight? They were just chatting with a prisoner. Yeah, mate, you're right.
So, I mean, Anna is doing everything she can to not be part of the actual decision-making process.
I'm going to wait until we've moved just a little bit away from the bars, so to speak. So we're not necessarily going to be overheard by Indy. I'm not panicked about it, but pull away to a bit and say, drug dealer with his own accountant that he's thrown overboard, right?
Mm-hmm.
Who might either be getting into some boxing racket or at least using it as a cover for some operation. Am I crazy in thinking we're going to find him in a casino?
This shit again. Fine, let's go to the casino.
He just really wants to go to the casino.
I think he's going to be an easy get, and I think we're going to find ourselves with a new friend who might even be able to pull that poo lever for you in the morning, Bill.
You say an easy get, but he's managed to make bounties disappear.
Yeah.
I mean, he hasn't even got a bounty out on him.
That's why he won't expect us.
What?
It's true.
It's true. But if you go around and start arresting people without bounties on their heads, some people tend to call it kidnapping or various other names.
I'm guessing once Indy ended up in a cage, Saul isn't now thinking of him as a threat. He doesn't know that Indy's made a few potential friends who might be coming after him. So he's probably not looking over his shoulder at the moment. He thinks he's scot-free, right?
And the thing is, it's a bounty. All we're worried about is who it's stuck on. It's not going to go away. We just want to move it from Indy here to his buddy.
So we can find the guy, maybe break into his place, find some evidence, find something we can use to justify Indy's freedom, Saul's guilt. Then they could say, actually, that's right. Instead of Indy being a 4-credit bounty or whatever, it should be Saul. Then we could say, well, by amazing coincidence, we actually have him right here.
Perfect.
See, that's why you two are the brains.
Nah.
Behind.
I'm
No,
just
I feel
sober.
we've already established you're the brains.
Behind.
Yeah, come on, Bill. Don't do yourself down.
So is that the first? Is that our main goal? Is that what we're after now? I feel sorry for this guy, if I'm honest.
I feel a bit sorry for him, honestly. I think what we probably need to do before we even pick our best target is to at least recce the place. Let's find out what it looks like, see what's going on, see if we can find out what's going on. And while we're there, we can at least take that chip over to a window and say, give me money for this.
Okay, but here's the thing. Fluffy bomber jacket, and I don't know what on earth you're wearing there, Mac, but you cannot walk into a casino and be taken seriously wearing that.
Huh.
I'd argue exactly the opposite. I think people with the real money don't care what they look like. I knew a
Okay.
guy once dressed far worse than I did, far worse than Matt.
I'm not sure that's possible, Bill, to be honest.
Yeah, there he was, rolling in credits.
Well, I'm going to go see Marvin and pick up a couple more bottles of Curly's Knob, and then
Yep.
I'm ready to go.
And if we do need some clothing, we'll find out when we get there, won't we? If it's a high class sort of place. But based on what you've told us, it sounds like it's not exactly where the plush go. But if we do need some clothing, I'm betting we're likely to find clothing shops on Reno 12 rather than in the back of the burger joint here.
I'm not going to say we need money again, but I feel it's in the air.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe you can have another canister almost hit you on the head that contains more
More clothes.
fantastically attractive clothing. I mean, I'm in love with this waistcoat.
But tragically, your excellent engineering skills have made the number of homicidal canisters relatively few and far between.
Oh, I'm sure I can do a number on that.
I believe in you.
I believe in you.
We got the song. I'm done here now. Good night. Okay, well, Anna's done with the chatty bits. She's just going now. She's like, fine. She has a plan.
Well,
She's off.
I'll get rid of Indy's picture. That's him. That's him stuck in the cage. Goodbye.
Well, we're not going to break him out right now, are we?
No. Mary turns around. You better not.
Actually, Bill will say, "I'm just gonna see him for one more thing. I'll meet you back at the ship."
All right.
I've got stuff to do.
If we're splitting up, I'll go straight back to the ship then.
Okay.
You want curlies or more of that crap that you drink? There, Mac.
Some curlies if you're buying, thanks.
Yeah, sure. Okay, no worries.
Okay, I'm going to go start with you and move to Socks and then to Ben, I guess, if that makes sense in that order. Okay, Ewan.
It's not much. Bill will just walk over to the bars. Just the one bar.
What are you having, friend?
Lean on the bar.
He'll crouch down and he'll take out the third of a pack of cigarettes that he's got left and he'll slide it across the floor. And he'll just say, "We'll do what we can. Have those. I'm giving up anyway." And he'll turn around and he'll take a scenic route back to the ship.
Before you turn back, then, as you slide those cigarettes in and Indy reaches out and takes them, can you roll me a savvy with with the upper hand, please?
Can I use my grit instead? I'm going to use my true grit.
Yeah, true grit. Yes, you
Come
can.
on, Bill.
Come on, Bill.
Rolling savage.
Go on, Bill.
Which is not bad. It's a 10. I'll lose the 1. That's my lowest dice.
Yeah.
10 plus 2 is 12.
Okay. Indy sort of takes the cigarettes from you and sort of offers you up a bit of a smile. And he says, Jesse Rhodes. That's the boxer that he's working with right now. Find her, you'll find him. She's got a fight coming up in System.
How am I spelling Rhodes?
Rhodes.
Thanks. Bill he'll give him a long, slow nod and then walk away.
Okay. And are you heading back to the ship?
Yeah, he'll take a little stroll around if there is such a, like the long way around the block.
Sadly, there's not. There's one big corridor with the coffee shop, the burger joint, and the convenience store at one end, and then back past the pub to the the ship parking locked at the other end.
Okay, he'll go. I tell you what, he'll go to the cigarette machine and he'll buy a packet of cigarettes with actual money.
Oh, from the are you getting them from the actual police station, the security?
Yeah. And then
Yeah,
he'll head back to the
flashing
ship.
six.
He'll go for the little, was it cigarillos or cigars?
Yeah,
Actual
the little
cigars.
cheap cigars. Take.
Yeah.
I'd like you to take 3 credits off you, please.
Ooh, bargain.
They are the cheap ones. They taste like bottoms. But at least you look cool smoking them, of course.
Yeah.
That's the main reason why people smoke, isn't it? To look cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That and to die young.
Exactly.
I was about both.
Only
Yeah.
possible reason.
Good.
Oh, I'm sorry. That sounded incredibly judgy, Ben. I'm actually really sorry about that. At that exact moment, I was like, I just turned into one of those obnoxious ex-smokers that I've resisted turning into until now. Sorry.
Cool. So, and then you're heading up.
And then he'll head back to the ship. Yeah.
Okie dokie. We'll head to. I guess Anna is next as she wanders back in to the tap.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you what I'm going to do. If I can get it right, I'm going to turn it down. The jazzy music is making an appearance. We're back in the pub. I hope that's not too loud for everyone. A bit of jazzy music in the background. A bit of someone will be able to tell me if that's too loud. We just want a little bit of background. Is that too loud? Help me with the levels. This will help us for the months going forwards. We'll do it now so that we get it right for the future.
Well, nobody's complaining, so I'm assuming it's fine.
Exactly. Can they hear us still? Spez is normally very judgmental. He'll pull us up very quick.
Wow.
It's partly why I love him.
We're rubbing off on you, Luke.
It's amazing they stop by at all when they get.
It's the low blow day. That's what this is.
Really?
Let's keep that low. Let's put it down a bit lower. There we go.
I think we've got snarky Saturday happening here.
Yeah, everyone's got it on them today.
I love
There
it.
you go.
Good alliteration, though. To be fair.
Thanks.
A little too much about Ben is a very soft voice. I know that's what you like about his voice. He's soft.
Aw,
That's perfect. Excellent.
nice.
The jazz is playing from the well-fixed jukebox, of course. And because you did your job earlier wonderfully. And as you walk in, our man Marvin turns and sort of manages his form of smile at you. Howie, of course, is still at the bar, but the young couple have gone.
Or fled. I mean, depending on.
Well, who am I to judge? They left after you left. We have no idea how they left.
Fine. I throw a wave at Howie. Hey, buddy. And then I rest at the bar near Marvin. I'm like, hey, so we finally picked a direction and we're just about to take off. But I was wondering, can I get a couple of bottles of Curly's for the road? We'll be back in a couple of weeks, I guess. But just want to load up. You know it is flying sober. No fun at all.
Oh, why do you think I work in a place like this?
Mm.
Avoid sobriety.
Right?
He says, well, as you know, my suppliers are running a bit late and we're a bit low on things, but I might be able to find a couple of bottles. Could you roll a savvy, please, but with the upper hand because you helped him out earlier?
Okay, so that's
3 dice. Take the top 2.
Okay. Roll 3d6 plus 1 for 7. 9.
No. Okay. I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll do your bottle. I'll do you 2 bottles for. As you help me out. For 15 each.
Yeah, that's cool.
So that's
Fine.
30 for 2, yeah?
Yeah.
Fantastic. And he reaches over and sort of behind the bar and he pulls out 2 bottles of Curly's knob and he puts them on the bar for you.
I tell you what, my friend Bill, you remember Bill? He's now our captain, by the way. He loves a salty nut. Have you got a couple of packets of those that I can grab as well?
You hear Howie laugh at the end of the bar. He's like, I've got salty nuts.
Yeah, he already hoped you did, Howie.
Yeah. It's good to see you again. How are you doing? You've been away a while.
I've been away 25 minutes.
It feels longer. Have you guys
Yeah.
You guys leaving the system? Yeah, or you still got stuff to do?
We're going to be chipping around and having a look at stuff. You know, trying to find some work. You know how it goes.
Well, more power to you.
We'll be back soon enough. Don't you worry, Howie.
Make sure you do. Make sure you do. It's a joy having you around.
Oh, cheers, Howie.
Marvin reaches under the bar, grabs a handful of small bags. You know, like half a dozen small bags. He says, "These are on the house for those drinks you bought for Howie. He hasn't shut up about you since you left.
If they break the mold,
You've made his day.
I tell you what, an enormous mouthful of nuts will make Captain Bill's day.
Yeah, he strikes me as the sort.
Yeah, cool. Well, cheers, Marvin. And then she kind of gathers everything up and pays, and then makes her way back to the ship.
Fantastic. We will jump to then Mac, who I now feel has to get involved in a really deadly gunfight to stop making you feel so safe that you can split up so quickly. So as you walk down the corridor from Frontier Security Services, to the left is the entrance to sort of Providence Tap down a little side alleyway, and then straight down to the ship's parking lot. It's called there. And inside that, so you go through the door into it, and to the right as you enter, there's a place called. This is the first time that you've been in here since you started playing, of course. A place called Port Parts, P-O-R-T, like a port parts, which is kind of like a mechanics shop, I guess. For people who need their ships fitting, things sorted, tweaked, this and that. That's there and that's open. And then you've got the main parking lot, which has your ship, and it has a ship in there with the name Cairo on it.
Like the city.
Like the city, yep.
I'm in my first ever clip. Thank you, Sparrow.
Oh, yes, you've made it to your first ever clip.
Thanks.
From the clipper to the clippy.
The circle is complete.
When you clip yourself, that's when the circle's complete.
Wow, easy, Tiger.
Oh dear.
Getting all Matrix now.
It certainly is. So your ship's there, the Alcanost, which is, I like to think of it, you've sort of got the old white paint out and slapped it on the side. The Alcanost. And there's the Cairo, which looks a bit nicer. And a couple of other little ships here and there from people that have come up from the surface. And that's about it that's in there.
Just quickly, the Cairo's a bigger ship than ours?
The Cairo is smaller, but it's a bit more well kept, I guess. I'm going to call it a spacefaring ship. It's called a spacefarer, I guess. What would be called a rover class. It's there's nothing spectacular about it, if that makes sense. Just looking at your.
It's the Ford Escort of spaceships, is what you're saying.
Yeah, you were in the military. You're a former corporal, which we know from the start of the game. So you know a bit about traveling in ships and things like that. It's not one you take to war. It is exactly a Ford Escort of ships. It's nice enough, you know. It's a commute. It'll take a few of you quite nicely. So it's smaller, shinier than yours, looks well kept, but not fancy, you know.
But has less character.
Exactly. It's not the ship of your dreams, you know.
Yeah. Is that the only other ship other than our own in port at the moment?
I'd say it's the only main one. There's a couple that look like they're surface, you know, within system ships, if that makes sense.
Yeah,
like little single seaters.
Yeah,
people that have popped up for business or to do bits and pieces.
Yeah. Okay. I'm going to walk into the parts store.
Okay. Well, you're greeted by the smell of diesel, the sound of bad pop music on a radio, and the clanking of tools, and the legs of a gentleman who appears to be underneath some kind of shuttle pod, I guess, about 8 foot long shuttle pod.
Is he wearing a string vest and really, really feel like a boiler suit that's rolled down to his waist?
or rolled up to his waists. You can only see his legs, so you wouldn't know.
Sorry.
What he seems to be wearing is he is wearing that sort of boiler suit thing because he's at work, but he appears to be wearing sandals as he does it. And he's under there whistling away tunelessly to the radios you enter. You know, he's got the calendar on the wall. It's not ladies though. You know, it's nice scenes of countryside and things like that.
All right. I'm gonna clear my throat. See if I can attract his attention.
He sort of sits up quickly and clanks his head on the underside of the pod, and you sort of hear swearing and grumbling. And he rolls his way out, and you come face to face with this face. There he is. Look at that. And it's a man called Todd Reed.
Mm-hmm.
And that's not a secret, because you'll have seen that sort of on signs around it that he is the proprietor of this place.
Mm-hmm.
And he is sort of he's lean, he's wiry. He's got his long greying hair. It's a beautiful mane. It's back in a ponytail at the minute because he's working. And he sort of rubs his head, sort of leaving a trail of oil across it from his glove. And he says, sorry, I wasn't expecting you. Name's Todd. How can I help you?
Couple of minor things, really. I'm on the lookout for a high security lock.
Okay. What we talking? We talking for a door? Are we talking for something? A door?
Yeah, for a ship's cabin door.
Okay. Is it something that you want to fit yourself or get fitted?
It's something I want to get someone else to fit for me, but I kind of have an engineer I think might be up to it. So hopefully I'll just need the lock.
And just the one, you say?
It depends how much they are. One or two. How much are we talking about?
Well, it depends. Like, I could refit out the whole, we could refit out the whole ship, give it a security overhaul, make it keep you safe from pirates, the pirates in the system. You can hide anywhere on the ship.
No, this is for an internal compartment.
Just one compartment. With the thing, and you're fitting it yourself. About 800.
Moving on.
Ouch.
A couple of sets of decent quality strap fitted adjustable webbing.
Todd has sort of pulled his gloves off and he sort of walked over to some shelves, sort of where you can see a load of sort of dark straps and rubbery bits and this and that. And he reaches up and he pulls out some decent looking straps and Todd's on them. They've got the old metal clasp clamps to ratchet them shut. And he pulls them and he tosses you one and he says, like this?
That kind of thing.
Oh, I can. How many are you looking at for that?
Once again, depends on the price. How much is for one?
Well, I'm for 20.
All right, I'll take 5.
Okay, that'll do me. I'll tell you what. I'll do you 5 for 80. How about that?
Kind of you. Thank you.
That's all right. Work's been slow. It's nice to get someone in here.
And once we've sort of conducted the financial transaction, I'm then going to say, that ship out there, the Cairo.
Ah, yeah, the Cairo.
Yeah. You know who owns that?
That ship is owned by the lad, the Beaumont lad. No, sorry, the Beaufort lads. His family was the one that ran the port on Reno. Big, important family back at the time, and him and his fiance have been travelling around.
All right.
Oh,
They're
no.
just- Nice couple, nice couple.
Hmm.
Lovely, lovely people. Very averse to violence, and I believe the lad had a bad run-in with knuckle dusters once, and he's quite scared of them now.
Yeah. Yeah. It's unfortunate, you travel these kind of systems, you occasionally encounter the undesirable elements, don't you?
What sort of people start threatening people like that? If you're gonna do things, you got to have a cause for it. Don't just go around threatening people for no reason.
I actually don't really believe in threatening people at all.
A man of peace.
No, I just think it puts them on guard. I'd much rather just kill them before you threaten them.
A man of violence.
Said Willie Nelson.
Exactly. As he sparks up a joint with one of those
A man
little,
of
little
peace.
flame things.
He's passing over to Bob in the background.
Why are you asking? You're after someone?
No, it's really none of my business. I was just wondering. Looks like a nice ship. Smart, well maintained. I was just wondering if they'd come in here to buy any stuff for it themselves.
No, what they tend to do is because they live in System, right? And they travel around, make trips every now and again. Whenever they come back, he just has me give a once over. He knows I'm good at my job. It's always their first thing in, last thing out of the system. Give the tires a kick, check the oil, make sure everything's ticking properly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that's good to know. So you think it'll be around for a while? This ship? They're going to leave it here with you for a bit.
It depends. I don't know. Sometimes they leave it here. They've got a small ship, and he sort of points at one of the little, the little 2-man ships sort of thing. He says that's his other one. It depends whether he's going to shoot home on that and come and go, or that ship. The Cairo is ready if they want it, but if they don't, it's always got a space here if they need it. Him and his family look after me.
Yeah, that's good. It's nice that they have a place they can come with their ship and a person they can trust look after it. That's excellent stuff. Thank you.
That's okay. Okay, is there anything else I can help you with while you're here?
Yeah, you must get all sorts through here, right?
Oh, do we ever? Oh, we're the first stop. It's us as the first stop, and the fueling place is the last stop.
I mean, I don't know if people chat and gossip with you much.
Roll a savvy, please. We'll go flat savvy for now.
That's wedged in the corner of my box, and I can't reach it because I've got a laptop on. Hang on a second.
Roll no.
That is 8 plus 2. Yes, 8 plus 2 is 10.
He sort of smiles and reaches over and does spark up a suspicious-looking cigarette. And he says, "Yeah, we get all sorts through here. It's not the most peaceful and loving system in the galaxy."
There's a guy I'm interested in finding.
Okay.
His name's Saul.
So you say?
Apparently, he's a bit of a trader, bit of a dealer. Apparently.
What? boxing, you say? So, do you know what this guy looks like?
Not personally, but I'm told he's quite well known around these parts.
So, I'm not so good with names. But boxing, you say?
Hmm.
There was a girl that was on this station with, you know those wraps that boxers wear around their hands?
I do.
She was, there's a girl with them on, looked proper tough. She's been around.
Could you give me a quick description of her?
She's, that red hair.
I really thought I was going to say blue for a minute then.
Oh, yeah. Blue hair, bird necklace.
Mm-hmm.
Oops.
Red hair, really set jaw. You know, looks you or I would lose in a fight against her. You know, she vest on, meant business. With her there was a guy with her, like a seedy kind of looking guy. You know, who am I to judge? He sort of looks down at himself under his with his sandals and his overalls on, and he's got like a kind of a hippie shirt on underneath where he zipped it down. He's like, man, who am I to judge? You know.
Well, I got to tell you, if anyone is a good judge of people, it should be a man who looks like Solomon.
Wow, Ben.
But I'm going to say thank you very much for your help.
Oh man, you're welcome. And thanks for buying the straps. You know, every little helps.
That's no problem. Thank you for the discount. I'm going to try and stick my head in here anytime I'm coming through. Okay, because I have a feeling you and I are going to be firm friends.
I'll tell you what. The second you walked in, after you made me bang my head, it felt like you had good juju, man. Good juju.
Well, thank you. Though I feel like you volunteered in the headbanging thing.
No. I just don't expect people to shout hello. Hey, Rook and Ross, by the way, thank you for subscribing. Subscribers always deserve a shout out, don't they, quite frankly?
Absolutely.
You do indeed.
I believe they're heading into the sticker book territory, which means it's an exciting part of the subscription process.
They're going to fight. They'll be fighting in that household. Let me tell you now.
For the stickers, I tell you.
Mm-hmm.
The stickers are wonderful.
The stickers are good. To the Americans and the Canadians, I send 2 months at once at that point because it saves on the postage. You're going to get like 4 months of stuff, like physical stuff sent. So I will send it like 2 lots at a time just to save me £2 on postage, if that makes sense. So, yes. Anyway, thank you. Cool. Anyway, back. Todd sort of smiles, and he offers you a cigarette. He offers you his cigarette before you go.
Yeah, thanks. I'll take it. I'm just going to take a quick puff and then hand it back to him.
Okay. He sort of smiles at you and he says, "Go in peace, my friend. I'll see you soon. Yeah, you be careful wherever you go in the system. Tell them Todd loves them. Yeah."
Thank you. I will. I can save you some ink.
Yeah.
Yeah. You probably got to write down Cairo an awful lot over and over again on things.
Yeah.
You can spell it XP in Greek.
And he sort of inhales. He's like, "That's really deep, man. That's really deep."
I think it's sweet that Max found his Marvin.
And yes, I'm setting off out and down the companionway to the Alkanost.
Okay, fantastic. You are first in, but because of your longer chat, it's time for British voice. Oh, I haven't got the brunch graphic. I need to update the brunch graphic.
Oh.
will know that it's time for it. It's exciting to set up a different whole set of scenes. This is the problem we're rolling with today. But we all know it's time for brunch. I've got
It
some
is time for brunch.
orange-coloured drink, which is
Cheers.
yes. So as the three of you sort of filter onto the Alkonos, the timing works quite well. You know, you've got Bill's conversation was quite short, so he sort of almost comes to the steps of the Alkonos as Mac does. Anna's was sort of the middle length, and so you almost get to the bottom of the steps together. It's a rather lovely moment.
Aww. Anna stands in between her two comrades and links her arms in theirs, and they walk up the gangplank together.
As she tries to do that, I'm loading her with webbing straps. As soon as she sticks her hand out, I'm throwing webbing straps on it.
Oh, look, see? Now I have to find a new way to try to kill you.
I mean, don't waste too much time on it. It's fine.
Oh, no, it's fantastic. Thank you so much. And look, I've got the girlies knobs. And I even got you some salty nuts. Bill, Captain, you.
Thanks. I love salty nuts, as you know.
I made you and say it. Yes.
There's several stories. I'll regale you with them.
I'll just
sometime.
ask Leno.
No, in game. Oh, okay.
Oh, sorry. Excuse me.
That's all right. It's hard to tell sometimes. And he'll light up one of his small cigars and stroll up the gangplank arm in arm with them.
This is when the AC/DC starts to play.
And as the captain punches in, where are you punching to, Captain?
Where are we going? Oh, I found out from my buddy back there. I strong armed him. I had to slap him around a little bit. Jesse Rhodes is a boxer in town, linked to our friend Sol.
Jesse Rhodes, you say?
That's the name.
Interesting. I have a feeling she might be a redhead.
But anyway, where are we going? What's the first stop?
Gambling.
To the casino.
Yeah, go on, do it.
So as the punches in the coordinates for Reno 12, and the ship slowly takes off. The Alkonost wobbles slightly through the double doors and out into space and swoops in the shadow of that great dying star, runs alongside subtler orbital, and heads off towards the nearest planet. That's where we're going to call it for this evening.
Oh,
Lovely. Thank you, Luke.
Thank you,
Thank you,
Thank
everybody.
you.
Thank you, guys. Thank you.
Oh.
The whole world ahead of you.
And a drunken criminal to save.
A dodgy accountant to say.
Yeah.
This is good shit, man.
Oh, Matt's new best friend.
Oh.
I think you've chosen wisely with the captain/pilot, it must be said.
I agree. I feel we've chosen
I
wisely.
don't. But hey, we'll find that out the hard way, I'm sure.
I think the people who don't want power are the people who should have power.
Yeah,
Exactly.
generally, I think that's a good. I think that's a good baseline position to take. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, never trust the person that fights for the power. That's absolutely true.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm a great believer that occasionally someone has to assert themselves, but if so, they should immediately relinquish it the moment that moment's over, if you see what I mean.
And apologise and buy the round.
Absolutely. And immediately say, I'm terribly sorry about that. I just felt someone had to, press the brake on this thing before we went over the cliff.
Kelly says no good deed goes unpunished. I feel that's a tattoo that Bill needs to have on the back of that amazing jacket.
He's not getting it studded in.
Rhinestones.
I like to think he has a good on one set of knuckles and deed on the other.
Oh. He does now.
Canon.
It's canon, right there. Oh man, I need to add a points thing for it's canon. Whereas the second someone says it, if someone like chooses it, that has to become canon.
Amazing.
Oh.
Yeah.
It's a good idea.
Yeah.
I like it.
You know what? I didn't want to finish that. It must be
No.
No, it was a riot.
It was good fun.
You guys have jumped on board, and I love it.
It's going to be a very long month until the next session.
Luckily, it's not too far off, I think, because we had to switch things around slightly.
Right.
I need to find when it is, but I've got a feeling.
The 28th.
No, we had to change it.
Oh, 14th in that
14th
case.
of May. It's only 3 weeks away.
Ooh.
That's not too far.
That's not
Exciting
too far
stuff.
long to wait. No, that's right.
3 weeks till the next Orbital Blues.
Yes.
Brilliant.
Ah, fantastic. In fact, for this week, after taking a big relax for a day or two, I think we've pretty much finalised our plans for the next 6 weeks. I think pretty much. I'm waiting back on like one thing, and then we will post it to our Discord family. Of course, we'll offer up slots. I think there's definitely a few, isn't there? That there's slots for. I feel.
Yeah, there's going to be a few. And
That's exciting.
yeah, and we've got well, I'm sure we can leave it up to you to mention what we know about next weekend tomorrow, can't we, Luke? When you do your Spooky Sunday.
Spooky Sunday.
Spooky Sunday.
Nice.
What are you going to deliver us tomorrow, Luke?
Oh, deliver us the moon.
Nice.
The moon?
The whole moon
The
is
whole
getting
moon.
delivered.
Outrageous.
The literal whole moon is being delivered to us.
Crazy. The ambition that you have is unbelievable.
Except I'm not, because so far everywhere that I've gone, I've just broken things and made it a one-way trip. Every single step, I've broken things.
In fact, it's gone so well that Ben has very consciously made an effort to not be too critical.
Yes.
I know, yeah. But we are on Plan Kelly, which is proving to be the best of plans, it must be said.
So far, Plan Kelly is remarkably resilient.
Yeah.
Yeah, Plan Ben lasted, well, I think one breath of air, basically.
It went wrong very quickly, as is its wont, quite frankly. So we'll start that. That'll be late tomorrow night, as is my want, because that's the way life is. It's the last thing I do on Sunday before the week starts again. And then you can all have a few days off, and then we'll be back for our Baltic Style weekend next Thursday.
Nice.
But we'll let you know. Our Twitter, at Boys Baltic.
Perfect.
We'll make sure everything starts going up. The new graphics with the new Ewan graphic, I feel, is needed for the next 6 weeks.
And again, the Rick and Rouse charity stream for Karen and Steve is going on completely across the whole of the weekend. So don't worry about it clashing or having to pick one or the other. You can have it all.
That's lovely. Thank you.
Yeah.
And you've put the details in the Discord, haven't you?
It's all in the Community Creations channel, and
Brilliant.
Rue is there and I'm there, so you can DM either of us for more information.
Fantastic. Thank you.
Oh, thank you, guys.
Well, thank you. What a joy to have you on, Socks. I hope you enjoyed it.
Oh, do you know what, though? What was weird, and I really chewed this one over with Sparrow, is whether or not I should do a voice for Anna. And the problem is, there's so long between each session that I would forget what voice I was doing, and then come back with another voice. So I thought I'd just play it straight, and I'll do the voices for the one shots.
Cool. She,
Well, she's going to have a different hair color. Once we start really getting into the crime, she's going to have a different name and a different hair color every time.
And a different accent.
And a different accent.
To go with it. Perfect.
I love the way your default assumption is, at some point, we're going to become criminals on a grand scale.
Crime's going to happen.
I mean, I think it's just like the keystone of the genre, isn't it?
Well, it is Firefly Bebop, isn't it? So
Yeah.
you have to assume there's going to be some of that, yeah.
I mean, I think it'd be fun to try and play straight guys, but I just don't think it's possible. I think there's going to have to be a shenanigan or two, and plus Ewan so naturally and so organically hit up the cigarette machine. I mean, it was just like he didn't even think about it. Just bam, done, theft.
Not even
finished.
a crime at that point.
Well, he's got money. He's got money as it is.
Nudge.
And then the nerve of actually buying cigarettes on the way out.
Yes, I actually thought that was really classy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nothing says
Downhill
classy
from
like
here.
nothing says classy like buying cigarettes, isn't that right?
From the machine you just knocked over. Yeah.
From a machine you just robbed.
Yeah.
Oh dear.
Ewan, who knew that you'd be the worst among us?
Me.
Oh, well.
The clues are always there if you look closely enough. Just people put him on a pedestal. They don't know him for the true Ewan like
It's that
Ben
bunny.
and I do.
We're all deceived by the bunny.
It's the
Yeah,
bunny.
it's the outfit.
Oh, Sparrow knew. Mind you, Sparrow knows everything.
He snatched that costume in the queue from the kid that was buying it.
Really?
Yeah.
And then stood on his toes when he started crying.
Yeah. Exactly. And just laughed in his face and said, "This is mine now."
With the
That's-
crazy teeth.
Exactly. Right, I suppose we better go to bed and let
Better
everyone else
stop.
go to bed.
Oh, it's nice though when you're having such a good time you don't actually want it to stop.
Exactly.
It is indeed.
It's a good sign of things, isn't it?
But I promise I'll join your one-shots now that things are settling down my end and I will come back with more voices. I might. Only Sparrow has experienced Megan, but I think I might be playing Megan for the next game.
Okay.
Ooh, I'm excited. Am I excited?
Yes.
I'm excited and slightly
Megan's a
concerned.
trip. Megan's special.
Good.
I look forward to Megan. I see Spez's looking forward to Megan already. And I guess we look forward to seeing hopefully a lot of you on Sunday night, if not Thursday night, if not Friday night, or Saturday night, or Sunday night. We're not fussy.
Yeah, all the people who joined, and don't forget that you can come hang out with us in the Discord. There's lots of shenanigans and stupidity happening there all the time.
All the time.
Yeah, so come and hang out and say hi.
Right.
Definitely.
I'm
And thanks
gonna-
to all the raiders as well.
Yes,
Yeah.
we had some nice little rays, which I've really appreciated. Right, I'm going to go have some fake shreddies and a cup of tea, and then go to bed. And I
Some
wish you
Freddies.
all the best. Some Freddies, exactly. Right. Take care, everyone. Thank you so
Thanks.
much.
Thanks
See
so
you
much for
soon.
joining us.
Bye. Love you. Bye.